Get 'em Jimmy, where low shack at. The bottle's getting nippy up the crack and we stacking chips. All of it's what I want. Plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone. I prefer elevated pub sports radio. Time to get educated, get produced. Leave the juice, letting loose with so much abuse that the bookies wanna call a truce. They getting slaughtered. Can't forget Jeff and low baggers in the chat. That's a lethal weapon 'cause we be pubbing.
What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Wednesday, May 24th to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. It was a rough day yesterday. So much went wrong. The day got off to a bad start with Baltimore Yankees. Then the White Sox came back on the Guardians. But I didn't. I had been having some real sleeping issues. My daughter has the flu. And I didn't realize the Cubs had switched pitchers. Well, I mean, I didn't realize that the Mets had switched pitchers. Smiley was in, sorry. But I didn't realize that. I would have rebet Smiley immediately had I known that Miguel was in there. I would have rebetted immediately, but I didn't know. So that was a avoided bet. Then the Oakland-Seattle, first 5 under 4.5. It was 2-0 with 2 out in the bottom of the fifth. And I lose the under 4.5. That really, really hurt. Two out, no one on, 2-0. That really hurt. The under 9 cashed. No other runs were scored. Very difficult. Very upsetting and very difficult. But it is Mike M's birthday. Happy birthday, Mike M. And it was Guillermo Zertucci's birthday yesterday. And Dennis Garcia did nail Miami, Boston. And I did give you the script of the hockey game if Vegas scored first. So I got in live on under 7.5 at -120 and under 6.5 at +145. I said that if Vegas scores first, it's going to be a 4-1 or 5-1 final. It was 4-0. But it was a losing day. So, the chat continues to deliver. And I got the week off to a shit start. And, we had the 11 of 12 winning shows that stopped on Friday. So now you put it together and those are 2 losing shows in a row, which is unacceptable. And it will change right here and right now. Shout out to all the cappers in the chat. We have nothing without you. Conor Mac Picks will be joining us for MLB. He's 7-4 on the show, hitting at 63.6%, plus 3.51 units, ROI over 30%, average line plus 105. But thank you for joining us. I did get a little bit of sleep last night, so I did beat up this card. I've made 5 bets. There's more I want to make, and I'm going to attack it. I made 5 bets in MLB. I've also locked in an NHL. I know exactly. I'm pretty pumped up about the hockey game tonight. And I know what I want to do tomorrow night. So NHL, I'm completely locked in. And I hope we're rewarded with that. Thank you guys for joining us. Justin McElvey in the house. Justin McElvey stacks play today. Diamondbacks, a team total over 4.5 at +110. Coming off 2 straight cashes. Let's copy and paste that, Justin, my man. Hope you had a great time at the beach, man. I hope you had a great time. Virginia Beach. Let's lock everything in here. I want to make sure that I've got the Diamondbacks play locked for you. That's 1:05 p.m. Eastern. We got afternoon baseball. It's going to be a fun day, but it will only be fun if we can make money. Marco Carrasco ready to get to work. Viper NB top set 4 plays today. Cleveland, Texas -1, Twins under, and the Red Sox. Astros money line for Viper NB. I was a little nervous. I doubled up on the under in the Astros game last night. I was a little nervous that I'd rush to that and was going to have to buy out of it, in all honesty. I got immediately, I was like, oh, I think I probably should have waited and talked it out with everybody. But at least that total's gone from 9.5 to 9, makes me feel a little better. A Creek man ready to get to work. There's Jay Smooth, Billy Friedrich. I'm interested to hear your take on what I think is going to happen in the hockey game tonight. Nuke Worker, golf game got rained out, so let's get down to business. Yes. Creekman also on that first 5 under in San Francisco, Minnesota, beefy bets, and the under 8.5 in the White Sox game. A good job getting that 8.5, Creekman. I was attempting to bet it, and it moved to 8 while I was doing it. I did get in the 4.5 though on the first 5. Thank God. That's down to 4, so at least I got that in. A grit and grind in the house. Saturated says, I swear if Jose says one word about the Celtics, he's going to say many words. They were good. There's Guillermo Zertucci. Hope you had a great birthday yesterday, my friend. By the way, Sunday Night Live is going to be a little different this week. And I've been kind of figuring it out, but we're going to start at 3:45 p.m. on Sunday, and we're going to cap the Santa Anita card on Sunday. So Santa Anita will roll into Sunday Night Baseball. So Santa Anita, then, of course, you'll have Golden Gate, Emerald, Hastings. So it's going to be a horse show that will turn into a baseball show or a mix. So it looks like there's going to be no playoffs. Yes, my friend.
No, continue.
Okay. It looks like there's going to be no playoffs in NHL or NBA. NBA Saturday night.
Well, okay.
Yeah. So because of that, we want action. We want action. So that's going to be the plan for Sunday. Now that you're here, how do you feel about your Celtics?
First, shout out to G in the chat now. Happy belated birthday to G. Hope Santa Anita and all that goes well for you, my man. Secondly, did you see who was at the game? The game last night?
I said there was many stars.
There was 2 in particular.
Well, there was Derek Jeter. And she was whispering in his ear. He didn't seem very interested.
Of course not.
He's a motherfucking man, dude.
No, he's a loser. Fuck that guy. Overrated. And Alex Rodriguez was there. Interesting.
All right. There it is. A riddle for us to figure out. Wine Time Sports in the house. Serious business. Top set. Michael Johnson, Subhuman Gaucho, and Dennis Garcia. God, I hope you guys have been watching him cap. He's put just a spectacular performance in the playoffs together, and he puts it all out for everybody to see. Very impressive work, Dennis, as always. Nuke, we're asking if Jose has a Celtic shirt on today. Slatia says 2 words, Jamie Benn. We'll discuss that a little bit probably today, and we'll discuss it tomorrow. But, we know that he mentally is not there enough, and that's why he was picked in the 5th round. I mean, this was a top 10 talent that was dropped to the 5th round because of what goes on upstairs for him. But if I was a coach and I demand my players to play on a physical edge, a dangerous physical edge, well, then I have to deal with the consequences that come with that. So I would never, I would not beat up Ben for that, because I would push my players to play on that edge as much as possible. And when you do that, sometimes you're going to cross-check their best player in the neck, and it's going to hurt you. But I need my players to play on that edge. I'll be on the Stars in Game 4. Look, I'd always be that type of coach. If you're demanding them to be violent, well, then you can't get upset at them when they lose their head and they're violent. It's always been that way for me. So you just have to deal with those consequences. You're welcome, Saturated, my friend. You're welcome. Wine Time needs a bounce back. I need a bounce back. There's Mike M. I missed the write it down Peter play. I don't know how I missed that, Mike, but I hadn't slept in way too long yesterday. I was a bit of a mess, so I don't know how I missed that, but it was a bad one. And you did snake in a beautiful AHL look. There's Rocco Rogers in the house. Control Your Vessel says happy Wednesday. We got some afternoon baseball to cap. Got absolutely obliterated yesterday. We're going to fix that. Red Girl in the house. And Wine Time says happy birthday to the man, the myth, the legend, Mike M. A lot of love for Mike M. Dennis Garcia says my heart is too broken to discuss hockey. It's not for me. Spreadsheet play of the day is in Atlanta -140. In fact, I'm pumped up to talk about this hockey game. Let's get this up here. Here we go. Spreadsheet play today is the Braves. Let's get that up here. That is a evening spot. Wow, that was wild. The Dodgers, Braves yesterday. Gonsolin versus Elder. Dennis Garcia, no, I'm definitely not betting Florida. I'm all over the Hurricanes. I love everything that Brendan Moore's saying. I love everything that the team's saying. I think it's been a very close series. We're going to get in that really quickly here. There's JT in the house. Michael Wilkerson, Chocolatey Waterfall, Viper NB. Wine Time Sports locked in the Pirates money line at plus 105. Let's get that up here. We're going to have Conor Mac joining us shortly, but I need to get into this hockey game because I really want to beat it up here. Morgan Spooner says, loving this bum fight under 5 in the Texas game. Copy paste that. Oops, sorry. Let me get that up here. Everybody's action. Let's get it locked in. All right, Danny Lopez ready to get to work. There's Razor Sharp picks. Nasty Nate Danielson is on the Jays money line and the under Kikuchi season. I am fading Kikuchi for the second straight game. Dennis, we'll see if it blows up in my face. Jorge, don't play in the house. Slatsy says Sam Reinhart has now scored the last goal in 5 straight Panthers home games. It's plus 1,149. Look, he's been spectacular. He's been absolutely, look, these guys have been so good. So good. Dennis Garcia says Drexler might have some horses. Well, thank God. Okay, but
yeah, my guy,
yes,
Big Clyde with the strongest hairline in the business.
It's been unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. Okay, Billy Friedrich says I think the Canes win tonight, or at least early. I like them first period. He already bet first half under, first period under, I believe, full game under. Okay. And Dennis Garcia says PS Miami in 5. All right, let's get to work. Billy Friedrich says losing Barkov is big. Now we don't know if Barkov is going to be out, but I'm hoping he's out. Even if he's in, he's not going to be 100%. And I've made a bet for him being out. All right, let's talk it out right now. 8 p.m. Eastern, East final, game 4. Florida leading the series 3-0. And you don't have to run with me on this, but I'm after watching these guys talk and knowing how close this series is, I moved on the Carolina Hurricanes first period and full game. I did not move on the under. We've cashed the under 3 games in a row. I'm not doing it here. The bounces that the Hurricanes are not getting and Bobrovsky standing on his head, I just find it difficult to believe that could continue at this rate. I know that people will be all over these unders, and then I don't blame you for that, but I'm not going back to the well. Freddie Anderson has been spectacular. The reason why people aren't talking about it is because of how good Bobrovsky's been, and we can talk a little bit more about Bobrovsky here. So going back to game 1 of round 2, he's not allowed more than 2 goals in any game. So going back to that spot, .958 save percentage. Out of the last 110 shots he's faced, he stopped 109 of them. That's just crazy to me. And yeah, he's locked in. And he hasn't been locked in for a long time. That's all well and good. But I just, he's not Dominik Hasek. He's playing like him right now. He hasn't played like Dominik Hasek in 5 years? He wasn't. There's a 30-year-old journeyman who was starting in place of him. Now he's caught fire. The Florida Panthers have a 68.8% penalty killing. The Vegas Golden Knights have a 62. That's the lowest penalty killing for a conference finalist in the history of the NHL. And Florida's second. But look, they're playing very well 5-on-5. Florida's faceoffs are at 43.7%. Let's just touch on the faceoff situation for Florida, because last game we saw it. Barkov went down 7 minutes or so into the first period, and they had to bring up Luosterainen to play center for them. So this is a big, big loss. It's big enough. Now, it's a lower body injury, not an upper body injury, so he should still be able to take faceoffs. But it's such a huge, huge situation here. And I want to hammer it here for you guys. Nate Dogg leaning a draw and leaning to the over in this one. But here we go. Let's go to faceoffs. So faceoffs here. Sam Reinhart has been so bad in faceoffs in the playoffs, 38.7%. He's won 70 and lost 111, that they can't play him at center anymore. Now, he's a really smart hockey player. He can play on the wing. Sam Bennett is 66 wins and 119 losses. So he's at 35.7%. These two guys have been spectacular in the playoffs. Bennett's a +9, but their face-off winning percentages a mess. Barkov has the highest face-off winning percentage on the Panthers. He takes all the important face-offs, all of them. And his winning percentage is just 49%. So what happens if he's not on the ice? I ask you. Anton Lundell is going to have to take the important face-offs. He's at 48.1%. Luosterainen, they don't want him to take face-offs. He's taken 15 in the series, but they're going to play him at center on that line because they can't have Reinhart taking face-offs. So, I know that it's just a smaller part of the game, but because of this, the Panthers were outshot 32-17. They won 23 of 55 faceoffs, and that's going to get worse. Kong's Clips, that was a thing of beauty, baby. Thing of beauty. Kong's Clips, alternate line -5.5. Absolutely beautiful. There's Nut Flush Allen in the house. So Spenny Pennybaum's going to the under 5.5 in the first period, under 1.5. And I don't blame anybody for going back to that well. We've been talking about it, for a week. I'm not going back to that well. I'm going to the Carolina Hurricane well here. Barkov has 12 points in 15 games, 2 goals and an assist here. Second in scoring on the Panthers. Luosterainen is going to move up to that top spot. Slatsy. Yeah, of course Maurice is going to say that, and maybe Barkov's in. And if he's in, he's not going to be 100%. But you have to say that as the coach. So, look, I am, after this breakdown, now I went 1.5 units with my 2 bets, first period and full game. But God, I think that the series could change. And we know that if so it's just 10-1 for the Hurricanes to come back in the series. I mean, that's not enough. But if Hurricanes win game 4, why wouldn't they win game 5 at home? And then at that point, you can take the Panthers on the money line in game 6. Because you'll have such a huge, I might have just talked myself on a likely losing bet on the Hurricanes to come back. Billy Friedrich says Panthers have dominated 5-on-5 in this series so far. They have, but I don't see how they continue if they don't have the puck. And I love everything that the Hurricanes are saying. So this is not, trust your gut, trust what you're succeeding with in NHL, but I am moving on the Carolina Hurricanes, first period, full game, and I'm doing it with a lot of confidence. And there you go. There is NHL. It is time to move into MLB. Now, I plan to move on the Dallas Stars tomorrow, but I haven't yet. I saw the line moving marginally over towards Vegas, and I plan on doing that. Now I'll take a little bit more time to study it. Here's our guy, Miggy the Mac Daddy, ready to rock and roll with us here on this excellent Wednesday MLB card. First off, C-Mac, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. Huge card here. I'm a little under the weather, but I'm ready to win.
I love it. And that's what you've done on this show. The Arozarena bet was avoided, but 7-4, 63.6% plus 3.51 units, ROI 31.91%, and your average line is plus 105. Speaking of your average line, I know that this is something that Hunter Engelhart will adore hearing, is that you have made 11 bets this year, and just 4 of them. So 7 of them have been plus money spots in MLB and just 4 minus, which is impressive. Lucas Ryan, Panthers money line. And when Lucas Ryan has had the confidence to feel free to, to go heads up with me in NHL, he's done very well. So, this is as confident as I've been in a bet in a little while. Not too long, but a little while. I really like Carolina tonight. I really, really do. First period, full game. Let's get to work here. Markel says, if anybody was on the Mariners yesterday, first 5, what a fucking sweat casher. It was the opposite for us. Jose lost a huge score on the A's first 5, and I lost my first 5 under 4.5. But it's good to know that you did get cashed with that, Markel, because I won't hurt, man. I won't fucking hurt. All right, let's get to work with our man C-Mac. And just a reminder, I'll be reminding you guys that we are making a change here for Sunday Night Live starting at 3:45 with Santa Anita Racetrack. So hopefully C-Mac can be involved in that. It's on Sunday, but just letting you guys all know that is our
no NBA,
no NBA, no NHL.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I love it.
All right, but we're gonna go into Sunday Night Baseball, which we'll do both there. All right, let's get to work here in MLB. Thank you guys all so much for joining us. Make sure I got everything up here, ready to go. I just need one thing, and that is this, and let's roll. All right, yesterday was ugly. We need to make changes. We have a game that's popping off in an hour and 13 minutes, 12:35 p.m. Eastern. Texas Rangers 30-18, 14-10 on the road at the Pittsburgh Pirates, 25-23, 12-12 at home. We're at PNC Park in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It was another pretty irritating situation with that Pirates game yesterday. We saw the sharp action on Rich Hill. So, if the dog has the sharp action, why don't we just not bet the under in the game? And I don't know. Usually that's what I do. I don't know why I let that go, but I let that go. And it cost me. I knew that I was afraid to fade Eovaldi, but still, if they believe in Rich Hill, then why wouldn't we just believe in an under? Frustrating. Here in Pittsburgh today, 74 Fahrenheit, 5.4 miles per hour out to left field, 5.4 to 7.0. Let's go over to the line history. It's Martin Perez going up against Johan Oviedo, who has been much better. He has been much better of late. Let's get over here and get these odds page moving. All right, here we go. Perez, Oviedo. We're going to go over to Pinnacle to get started here. And Martin Perez and the Rangers opened up -120. They're now -112. So there's been a move towards the Pittsburgh Pirates, who've gone from +111 to +103. So we have a move towards the Pirates. And then let's take a look at the total. I'll have this set up on two different pages here in a second, which will make it go faster. But right now, this total is at 9. It opened up at 9 as a pick'em. There's been a 1 cent move to the under. But it did go up to 9.5 at 9:36 a.m. One spot, it went up there at 9:36 to the over. It lasted there for 2 minutes before it was bet down. So let's take a look at the cash flow then here for this one. We have 44% of the tickets and 85% of the cash on the Pittsburgh Pirates, the market moving in their direction. From a total side of things, we have 67% of tickets and 91% cash on the over, and yet the market isn't really moving. There is Billy Brisbane says money coming in on Texas. They opened up at 140, now at -115. That sounds like sharp action. We all will study the market differently and use different books for that.
Yeah.
So I have the opposite of that. And these legal American books will often tell you a different story. You can trust the legal American books as, if you want. Sorry. No, Brizzy is sort of with me. Sorry, I miscommunicated that. So he says money's coming in on Texas. And now they're -115. So, sorry. Brizzy's right with me. Right, exactly with me. My bad. I took that in wrong. So, yes, clear, sharp movement towards the Pirates. There's Timmy OG in the house. Martin Perez, the reason why this is happening is because of what Martin Perez has done on the road this year. He's just struggled mightily. 30 and 2/3 innings, 5.28 ERA, and opponents rating 313 off of them. In May, the Pirates rating 245 with a 720 OPS versus lefties. The Rangers bullpen in May is a 7.21 ERA. You put all that together, and that's why the sharp money's coming in. We just saw Martin Perez look great at home. He always looks great at home. He has not looked always great this year. He's allowed 8 home runs and 49 in the third, but he's coming off a really impressive performance at home over the Rockies. 7 innings, 7 hits, 2 in runs, no homer, 7 Ks, no walks. Vitalis moved on the Rangers first 5 because the Pirates had 98% of the cash this morning. At this point, what do they have, Vitalis? They have, that's the total on the money line. They have 85% of the cash. It's funny and it's really important to discuss, but for me, if a team has less than 50% of the tickets in a morning game on a Wednesday in MLB, I'm not going to be too concerned if they have over 90% of the cash on them, meaning that someone's made a huge bet or a syndicate's made a huge bet. That does not. If they have 85% of the tickets, then that's a complete stay away. But we all handle these things differently. The only last point here is Oviedo has been really strong at home of late. He got off to a bad start, but he's pitching well. He just shut down the Diamondbacks at home, 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run. It was a solo shot, 7 Ks, 3 walks. I believe in him, but the Rangers are smashing righties, 267, 764 OPS versus righties. Troy Torrance says in his market efficiency database, when a home dog goes from dog to favorite, they're 4-0 straight up. Vital says Rangers sit at 16-8 in first 5 in away games also, so he did that. Take it away for us, C-Mac. Our first game on the board, 12:35 p.m. Eastern, and I'm taking a very close look at the Pittsburgh Pirates right now. What's your plan?
Yeah, this is conflicting, and shout out to the chat because there's a lot of good things. Because the Rangers have been good, and they've been good to bettors. You know what I mean? Whether it's first 5, they've been great on the run line. I think they're the top team that way. They've just been cashing. They just keep, scoring runs. I think they're scoring 6 runs a game. Seager's back. He looks good. You touched on the Rangers, the 263. One thing, Pirates, it hasn't been great and spotty. Their average is all right against lefties, 274 here. And you talked about Perez's struggles on the road. He just has been the same, and the long ball is big. And you thought in that A's game, he gave up 3 here. This one that's just how I went here. I went back and forth, back and forth. You talked about that under yesterday. Rangers, though, have been a solid over team for me. We have the early start here. I don't know what we get. I always struggle with Oviedo. If he's on, he's very good. If not, the walks with him. I know he's at home, you mentioned in this, but he can't leave ducks on the pond here with this Rangers lineup. So in the end, I'm off because I was going both ways. You talked about, and this line's dropping to the Pirates, so I get it. But in the end, I stayed off.
In the end, I'm going to jump on. I'm going to take Pirates full game. I do not like going up against Top Set when he's running like this, but the market is screaming. And the market screaming in one direction doesn't necessarily mean anything, that you're going to cash. Morgan Spooner says Pirates win these kind of games at home. Seems like a low shack Pirates spot. Top Set looking to start fading the Pirates. And he's doing that here. I'm going to be on the Pirates full game here, and I'm going to have to bet it shortly. Let's move on. Justin McElvey got us rolling here in the Diamondbacks game with the stack play today. Diamondbacks, a team total over 4.5. Ranger Suarez, what the hell are we going to do with Ranger Suarez this year? Maybe this will help disclose how we handle Suarez. But here we go. We just talked about Martin Perez, who has these extreme splits, and we're going to deal with the same thing here.
Exactly.
With Zach Gallen.
The market's moving. Same kind of, not as extreme maybe, but go ahead and hit it. Yeah.
Yeah, and we talked about it last week. Now, this was one of those spots where I didn't have the balls to fade Gallen because he was pitching out of his mind, but I just told, don't bet on Arizona, and they got killed 13-3 in that spot. Zach Gallen now has a 5.88 ERA on the road. Now it's 26 innings. Is this going to change? A 280 opponent's batting average. Billy Brisbane says Zach Gallen from South Jersey will have a lot of friends and family in the stands.
He will. Even though he didn't grow up a Phillies fan. He will have.
That's very interesting and important.
Yeah.
Tell me you didn't just say that. Took Pirates first 5 at plus 108. Tell me you didn't just say that. That's a battle first 5 or full game. But for me, even though the Rangers are a tougher lineup, the Rangers bullpen's in pieces right now. So I'm trying to focus on that. The Pirates bullpen's not being that great, but that's interesting. So Brizzy saying Zach Gallen from South Jersey will have a lot of friends and family in the stands. Phillies are his hometown team. What does that do to his poor numbers on the road, I wonder? We'll hear what CMAC thinks about that. 75 Fahrenheit, 4.8 miles per hour in. Line history-wise, we have... Oh, sorry. Here we go. Sorry. Let me move that up. God damn it. Total-wise, some books have moved it to 8.5 from an 8 opening line. Pinnacle has done it nonstop. 17 minutes in, it went from 8 to 8.5. Back to 8 to 8.5. It's gone from 8 to 8.5 throughout, and it's back at 8 right now. So that's interesting. They've been bouncing back and forth here. Let's get to the money line for this spot. C-Mac's already hinted at a legit move that we are seeing here. Let's see what Pinnacle has done. Pinnacle opened this up with Philly at minus 101. Philly got up to plus 105 this morning, and they are then there's been a big move the last 3 hours towards the Phillies. Phillies got up to minus 106. They're sitting right now at minus 103. So we have a move to the over and a very slight move to the Philadelphia Phillies. Let's take a look at the cash flow then for this spot. We have 25% of the tickets and 41% of the cash on the Philadelphia Phillies. And from a total perspective, 35% of the tickets, 76% of cash are on the under. But we see the market moving over. TJ Main says, isn't Gallen trash on the road? He sure is. But this interesting angle of this is his hometown team, I'm not entirely sure what to do with it, and I think I'll have a better idea after I hear C-Mac break it down. Joe Yurkovich says can't fade Zona right now. Jeffrey Stazowski says took everything but Diamondbacks money line. Rocco Rogers says Christian Walker over 1.5 bases, plus 125 and home run at plus 450, and the Diamondbacks money line says give me Gallen after his worst start to show out in front of the family. Danielson says Gallen is 3-1 with a 1.92 ERA versus Philly. Mike M says since 2019, Dogs in non-divisional games with a starter coming off a loss as a favorite in his last start, and in his last start versus the opponent is 42-5 on the run line. The money line is 32-15, saying that the Diamondbacks are very live here. Suarez, has had 2 starts since coming off the IL. His last start was a 10-1 loss at home to the Cubs. Does he qualify as a really good pitcher? Because there's been times where he certainly has, and you certainly wanted to back him at home, and then you could say, "Oh, I love backing good pitchers after bad starts," but I don't know if he qualifies here. Diamondbacks are hitting 269, 770 OPS versus lefties in May. Phillies 266, 740 versus righties in May, and the Phillies bullpen has been quite a bit better than the Diamondbacks bullpen. I can't wait to hear your breakdown. I'm all ears. Take it away. We have the Diamondbacks at Philadelphia.
Let's hit up Billy this first 5 under. But this has moved, a half run to the over here, not at all books. So Suarez just hasn't been good. Do we get bounce backs from these pitchers? Gallen, you mentioned the splits, how he hasn't been great on the road, but he's been dominant at home. He still had some decent road starts. I think he pitches well. I faded Suarez on Friday versus the Cubs, and I don't want him here. That's where I think the under is a question. They think maybe Gallen gives up a couple, but he gets hit. I did look at Diamondbacks team total, but do they get 5 here? Man, I was leaning that way. Also, if you could look at it, I don't love the move, obviously. I mean, when you see this line, it's like Gallen, just first 5 here. You know what I mean? Just take D-backs first 5, and that's the only way I could look. And D-backs has been pretty red hot. They're looking for the sweep. There's that here involved in this game. And they're just playing great baseball right now. On the road, they've been very good. What are they, 29-20? Tough one here. I would only lean D-backs here.
I do not feel comfortable in this spot. I do not feel like things.
Me either. I want to just take D-backs first 5. But
Joe Yurkovich says that this is a Jose special. Says Phillies for Jose. Jose, are the Philadelphia Phillies on your card today?
They're not. I was a little interested. Honestly, I was more interested in the Pirates last game.
Yeah,
that was the more interesting line to me, to be honest. I was tough. I don't know. It would be interesting, Joe. If you think the Phillies are the spot, I'm all ears there. But I was mildly interested in your Pirates, Jim, if I'm being honest.
I haven't bet them yet. It's a plus 102 for me at Bet Online. Were you looking at them full game or first half?
I would probably bet both, honestly. But if I had to pick one, I guess I'm going full game just because of how poor the Rangers bullpen is. And if you get to the 9th with the lead, you're getting Bednard most likely. I'm not sure if he was used in the recent games, but he's a beast. So, yeah, full game.
Yeah, I'm going to use full game. That's as well. Okay. Now, Joe Yurkovich says, no, I can't fade a hot team versus a cool team. And I don't care about that. but we all handle things differently. And Joe's been excellent. Is just an excellent MLB capper. Melvin Betances says Gallen will win the Cy Young. In the words of great Pete Loshak, mark it down. It was it wasn't usually Pete. It was everybody else forcing Peter to write it down. Write it down, Peter. But I like it, Melvin. Okay, so I'm off this spot. Let's move on. I am going to move on the Pirates full game. Next up, 1:10 p.m. Eastern, Chicago White Sox 20-38 and 17 on the road. The Cleveland Guardians 21-27, 10-13 at home, Progressive Field in Cleveland, Ohio. This was, look at those reverse line movement results, 78% straight up. It says take Philly or pass. Wow. But I really don't
want to back Suarez. Yeah, I just don't really want to back the Phillies. Like,
there's enough question marks here.
Yeah.
By the way, Razor Sharp picks. There's going to be some announcements coming here in shortly. I don't know if he's going to drop it or we're going to drop it at Pub, but I won't spoil it. But some really exciting stuff with Razor, and it's not just this, but this is very exciting. Delaware Park opening day, early pick 5 for him. He's going to be Delaware Park on Saturday, and Razor's going to be doing a lot more, across all sports handicapping. I mean, he already does a ton, but he's going to be doing a lot more. And I'm not sure how the announcement's going to be for announcing that, but exciting stuff coming from our guy Razor Sharp picks. Let's move on to this one. So I was trying to bet the under 8.5 last night, and it moved 8 while I was doing it. And it was a very upsetting. I still got in the first 5 under 4.5. So that helps a little bit. Let's talk about the weather here in Chicago. Oh, sorry. Is it in Cleveland? Excuse me. In Cleveland, we have 71 Fahrenheit, 9.3 miles per hour in. Goes from 9.3, and it gets stronger throughout the game. Ends at 11.7 miles per hour in. Johnny Gunn says Phillies opening up minus 125, and now Arizona favorite in some spots. Isn't reverse line movement. Again, so this is one of the tricky spots here to how you want to decipher when there's been the movement. If you look at the public books now, at Pinnacle, there has been some reverse line movement, but not a ton, but there's been some, but it is tricky. Razor Sharp picks moving on the Pirates money line at plus 105. Nice job. I wish I could get that 105. I'd like to bet this as soon as possible, but I got to stay focused here. All right, so we have wind blowing in. Let's get these record sheets out of here. So I'll block my. Let's take a look at the money line history here for this one. Kopech versus Quantrill. We have Quantrill from Port Hope, Ontario, opening up at minus 129, now minus 135. The initial move, though, was towards Kopech in the White Sox. Let's take a look at the total here. So I have it set up and I still don't. Sorry, we're multitasking here. Here we go for the total. This open, wow, it's down to 7.5. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh, I was literally like it switched while I was pressing the button. Okay, so this opened up at 8.5. This it's dropped to 7.5 at Pinnacle this morning and come back to 8, interestingly enough. I did not expect that. If that's the case, then what is the first 5? Because I got 4.5.
Yeah.
Is it a juiced 4 to the under? Tell me it's a juiced 4 to the under, and it is not really. Not at some, but at least it's gone to 4. It's a pick 'em at some books. Pinnacle, it's juiced pretty heavy to the over. So there's obviously been a move to the over once it gone down to 7.5 at Pinnacle. So that's happened.
That makes sense.
All right. There's Arthur Mead Jr. in the house. Great to see you. So Kopech, 2-4, 4.83 ERA, 1.33 WHIP. His last start was outstanding. 8 innings, 10 strikeouts, no walks. It was the Kopech that we thought we were going to see this year. He's been bad on the road, but I expect another good start. Not enough for me to back the White Sox because you were at home and now you're on the road. But I do expect a good start from him, and I expect a decent start from Quantrill. Now, he's not been very good at home, 265 opponents, batting average over 21 in the third, but neither of these teams are hitting. White Sox, their righties, 237, 683 OPS in May. Guardians, 221, 612 OPS. White Sox bullpen's been excellent in May, 2.84 ERA, and the Guardians bullpen has slipped a little bit. Take it away. I'm very interested in hearing your thought process. Dave, I will answer that question because it's an interesting one. But let's stay focused here on the White Sox. Guardians, take it away.
Yeah, that's tough. There's no 4.5 because I agree. And the line went the other way yesterday on this. It didn't bother me. I took the under. I think that's the way to look. Kopech's been good the last few. What makes it comfortable is the sticks here. You mentioned these teams just can't hit. Quantrill hasn't been great. He's the classic. He's just going 5 innings. He seems to give up 3 runs. Can he stay under that today? That's the only thing with the first 5 now at 4. We don't have the hook. And Cleveland's kind of on the series. Sox won yesterday. You said you were on that, right? I saw Razor. That was his gambler's first glance, right?
No. I was yesterday. I was on the other side. We both Razor and myself.
You were on the Guardians.
We are the Guardians. Right? Yeah.
That's what I. Yeah. On the Guardians. White Sox won.
Yeah.
I'd be right back here on the Guardians. I don't love the price really here. I'd have to take them. First 5 -0.5 maybe. I don't love the 130, and then you look the other way. Can they hit? You'd have to look at their team total, and the 3.5 juice crazy, and the 4.5, is right around plus 115. I don't have the hook now. I thought it'd be there maybe. I should have probably just posted it yesterday. The 4.5 last night. You talked about the wind blowing in, still a little cold, and these teams can't hit. So I like your play.
And I wish I just wish I was 15 minutes earlier on that full game, or 10 minutes earlier, or 5 minutes earlier, or 2 minutes earlier. Shout out to Arthur Mead Jr. Thank you, my friend, for your support. It means a ton to us. Arthur Mead Jr. $5 donor to bless our action.
Oh, yeah.
Mark's review says, I'll take the over 7.5 now. Let's drop the run. No Luis Robert in the lineup today for the White Sox. Yeah, I have to let it go. Unfortunately, the full game, once it moved the half run, out of spite, really. But look at Mike M going for his 8th straight pimp slap in a row, and he's on Cal Quantrill and the Guardians.
Yeah.
Wonder if I'm just leaving money.
I might get on the full game 8 here, under. I don't know yet.
Yeah, I mean, with the Pinnacle move, I'm going to bring up Pinnacle just to make sure that this is, in fact, not stale. And I'm almost certain it's not stale. But at Pinnacle, it's under 8, it's just minus 103. So you're not even going to have to pay too much vig. I could have it moved to plus 100 at Bet365 while I was betting it yesterday. Oh, no, it's minus 107 to the under. So maybe it isn't updating. So then if that's the case, what is the first 5 then at Pinnacle? The first 5 is at 4. At minus 110 to the over. It said minus 121. Okay, so I'm not going to trust that the Pinnacle lines are, but they're updating. Okay. So with all that said and done, Mike M says Cal Quantrill 14-1 straight up, 53.3% ROIs at home as a favorite versus the division. Dave Redling on White Sox first 5, so expecting another great start from Kopech. And Danielson is on the Pirates full game. Morgan Spooner says Kopech is a bum. He hasn't been able to put together multiple starts. Cleveland spot. Jesse Gomez looking at the White Sox team total over. Billy Friedrich on the Cleveland team total under 4.5. Says they cannot hit. And as Top Set, as we mentioned earlier, the wind gets blowing harder as the game goes on. Do you want to move on the under 8 here, or do you want to sit on it for a minute?
I'm going to sit with it just for a bit here.
Okay, so
I hope the bats I love to this under when these teams get together. Like I said, I was on the under yesterday. I'll let you know.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Now I took that. Okay, off. So I got the under 4.5. I'll grab what it is here. The line I got at here in a second. But again, I did lose that 8.5. It moved on me. All right. This scared me, this next spot. But I should answer quickly Dave Redling's question. Is it time to put 10 units? Look, I was thinking the same thing last night, and I was like, I don't know how I can really do it at this point. I need to study it more, obviously, but look at who Florida's beating and look at how they're doing it. I don't want to not respect who they are beating. Not saying that Vegas couldn't beat them too, but
they're playing different hockey than they ever have had in years. They never were winning 1-0 games, 2-1.
Sam Bennett's and Matthew Tkachuk and Barkov. I mean, now you don't. Huberdeau is gone. You have just toughness and accountability all over the place.
Definitely.
And it's not Ekblad's team; it's Montour's team. So, it's fascinating. And if that is our series, Florida Vegas, which looks likely, it's going to be a hell of a Stanley Cup final. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to cap, and I think we can make money off it. But I thought about what you were saying, Dave, and I can't do it at this point. Let's move on at 1:10 p.m. Eastern. Houston Astros 28-20, 14-9 on the road at the Milwaukee Brewers 26-22, 14-9 at home. We're at American Family Field in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Let's see, is it what's the weather like in Milwaukee? It's windy and kind of chilly. I'm not sure if the roof will be open there. 13.7 miles per hour left to right. If it is, I doubt that it is. Let's take a look at the line history here. We got it up and running, and the cash flow as well. So line history here for the total, and that's what I moved on. I moved on the under 9.5 full game, and I did it nervously. And I don't know. I should be tracking these spots because again, I saw Pinnacle moved it to 9. I saw Bet365 slow on it. I was a little concerned because here you have two pitchers with a very small sample size of innings this year and good numbers. And then I have this vividness bias of Hauser at home. So I actually, I had regret after I bet it. I thought, I wish I had talked that with you guys. Now that I see that it's 9, I feel okay with it. At 11:02 a.m., so 46 minutes ago, this was minus 113 to the under. There's been a 8-cent move since then in the opposite direction. So that I don't like that, but I do like that it's at 9. Now, one thing that did surprise me, I was like, well, so if the full game's gone from 9.5 to 9, maybe is the first 5 going to get, juiced? Can we get a juiced first 5? And that has not happened here. I guess a little bit, some books, but it's minus 114 under 5. That kind of makes me. I'm uncomfortable with my action here in this game. The sample size is too small for me to double up on these two pitchers, which is what I have done. We don't have anything up at for line history here at Pinnacle for what I don't know why. So we'll just go with Will Hill. Will Hill opened this up at minus 125 this morning for the Brewers. It moved to minus 120 and it's right back at minus 125. So we've had no movement towards the Brewers and we've had some movement to the under. I'm afraid to look at this cash, but let's look at it here. I am very nervous about it. And here, of course, 28% of tickets and 47% of cash are on the over. If I could go back in time, I wouldn't be on this. I don't like that the bigger bets are coming in on the over. Makes me extremely uncomfortable. From a money line side of things, 40% of the tickets and 66% of cash is on Milwaukee. I like that for the under. I really do, because I think Belak just gives you a professional efforts. Like, he doesn't go deep, but every start, he's had 4 starts. They're all just being solid efforts. His whip is high, but it's ticky-tack hits that he's allowing. 19 Ks to 8 walks probably isn't the type of K-walk ratio he wants. But, he's been good in 4 starts. In his last start, at home over the A's, nothing to, scream and shout about, but 5 innings, 1 earned run, 9 Ks, 3 walks. Hauser coming off an excellent performance at the Rays. And, he had a slow start to the year because he was on the IL. The Astros aren't hitting righties, 247, 695 OPS. Either are the Brewers, 241, 709. Those are main numbers. The Brewers' bullpen is being vulnerable, and the Astros' bullpen is good as always. So I'm on the first 5 under 5 and the full game under 9.5. And if I could go back in time, I probably don't move on it. Take it away.
Really?
I can't hear your breakdown. Floor is yours.
What do you not like about it?
I don't like that the bigger bets are on the over.
Yeah.
And I think that the sample size is too small for me to have confidence on this spot. I'm not going to buy out of it, but I look, I mean, we're talking about one pitcher throwing 18 2/3 this year, one throwing 14 2/3. They both have whips over 1.5. I like the way the Astros and Brewers aren't hitting righties.
Yeah, both 248, 247.
Yeah. But there's enough on this card that I don't think I needed this double up personally.
Yeah, here. Be like, you could look back. I mean, Mariners, White Sox, A's, they haven't been the best lineups, but you just mentioned the Brewers. Haven't really been hitting for the record, too, be what it is. Man, Brewers got the win yesterday. I thought it was a D spot. I can't back them here. I just cannot do it. This is a game I have to stay off. I'd like the Astros. I don't have a ton of confidence in them. The lineup's out, right? There's no Altuve in here. Bregman, yeah, Tucker, okay. Yeah, so in the end, I was off here. I wanted nothing to do with it.
Yeah, if I could go back in time, I wouldn't be on it, but we'll see how this banks out. One more afternoon game. Control Your Vessels with me on the first 505. That makes me feel good. I see people in the chat on the first 5 under. And Top Set looking for Belak to get touched. I think.
Yeah, what about Hauser?
I think Hauser's more vulnerable than Belak. I've watched Belak pitch, and I didn't have faith in Belak when he came up. I was like, look, this is a middling prospect. I believe he was a 9th rounder. I was like, the Astros have a ton of first round pitchers, but he's earned his opportunity here, and he gives professional efforts. I think Hauser's the vulnerable one.
Yeah, it's true. I'm surprised how well, and I've seen him pitch too. Belak Hauser, I've seen plenty of times, and he got hit hard those first couple of starts. It's like he only gave up a few runs, 2 and 3 earned, but 7 and 8 hits, and then that last start he was pretty dominant versus the Rays. I don't really trust him either, so yeah.
Johnny Gunn's looking at weighted runs created, top 5 against right-handed pitching, where Brewers are bottom 10. He's on Astros first 5. I've loved backing Hauser when he has a 4.8 ERA, a 5 ERA, and he's at home. I've just always find that he's got value in that situation. Top Set says hands are wet now. We'll leak. All right, let's move on to the final afternoon game here. And then I will get my action in because it looks like the only thing I'm adding right now is the Pirates full game, which I still have yet to bet. So that's in like 37 minutes. Let's talk about the final spot on the board. So there's 2 spots on the board here with starting pitchers who being dominant at home. Chocolate waterfall. Okay. 2 spots here, and it's Joe Ryan at home. He's been unbelievable. 2.37 ERA, 194 opponent's batting average. The other spot's McClanahan at home. McClanahan is 1.20 ERA, 185 opponent's batting average. I thought heavily about backing both, and the market at the time just did not correlate. It just wasn't screaming to me that the Twins were the look, even though X's and O's told me that they were. On the other hand, the market was screaming, bet the Rays as soon as possible. So I doubled up on the Rays early. I'm first 3 minus a half at plus 100, first 5 minus 1 at plus 109, 2 plus money spots. I didn't want a big juiced -1. I just wanted to focus on McClanahan versus Kikuchi and what the Rays are doing to lefties. And I tried not to think about how much money Dennis Garcia has made off of Kikuchi starts, backing him. Here, it just didn't all correlate. Let's see if things change. First, we'll go to the weather in Minnesota, 71 Fahrenheit, 9.9 miles per hour in, 9.9 to 10.2 miles per hour. Let's take a look at the money line for this spot. Oh, I'm on first 5. Let me go over the full game. Apologies. And here we go. Oh, and the line I gave you from Will Hill was that first 5 money line. I apologize saying that -125, -120, -125. That's my fault. I wasn't thinking clearly. So the line has gone towards the San Francisco Giants. How on earth could that be? If you look at it, so why would it? DeSclafani's been absolutely spectacular on the road, which is not his MO.
Exactly, yeah.
Awesome at Oracle and struggles on the road. So, but what would the Sharps be seeing here to have this big move? Now, this is a double-digit move towards the San Francisco Giants. So just that alone, you guys know how I work. I can't bet the Twins. So we go over to the total then. If they're telling us that DeSclafani is going to look good, then, why wouldn't we be able to trust Joe Ryan? So here we go. This total opened up under 7 at minus 120. And there was, a big legit move to the over. At 7:21 a.m., this had moved 16 cents to the over. So what are the wind's blowing in? Joe Ryan's been spectacular at home. DeSclafani's been so good on the road. Why on earth is this happening? It's hard to make sense of it. You have 90% of the tickets on the Minnesota Twins and 73% of the cash. So there's just doubling down that there's no chance I'd possibly be on the Twins. You have 57% of the tickets and 78% of cash on the under. So you could say it's just line too low. Maybe.
Yeah.
Nutflush On says this lineup is extremely weak. I don't see how the Giants score. This is just... Johnny Gunn says, is there a way you can check DeSclafani's first 5 record? I feel like he just gets run support every time he pitches. Let's hear. So I think I've given everything. The only thing you haven't heard is DeSclafani's last start was at home over the Marlins, 2 earned runs over 5 1/3. Joe Ryan's last start was at the Angels, 3 runs, 2 of which were earned in 6 innings. The Giants are hitting just 219, 663 OPS versus righties in May. Twins 208, 700, and both bullpens have been good. Giants bullpen has been quite good. Ricky Bobby saying Giants have been bad versus right-handed pitchers. First 5. Chocolate Waterfall. We love having you in the squad. Respect. Take it away for us here, C-Mac Giants. Twinkies.
Yeah, you mentioned DeSclafani. That's what I was looking at last night. Is you mentioned the weather and the wind in. It's just been weird with him. He's been so good on the road with a 1.7. And last year he had an 8, 5.3 road ERA. Ryan was pretty good again in LA. I was on the under there. And Nutflush just said it. I think both these lineups are weak. I was just taking a look at both of them. I want the first 5 under 4 here. Give me the best number you got.
Let's do it. First 5 under 4. I mean, from an X's and O standpoint, it makes perfect sense. So let's lock it in for you here. Just take a second, moving a little slow. I had both these up, but okay. The first 5 under 4 is cheaper at some books. Minus 114. Is that the best I'm going to find? Is a minus 114. Bovada has been 3.5. Looks like, so let me just go right to Pinnacle, as those weren't the. We did see some stale lines on this site a second ago, so let's just move over here. And this first 5 here. So first 5, wow, they've got 3.5 showing. The first 5 under 4 is minus 124. I'm looking at stale lines now. Is that going to affect the way I see these games? I wonder. So let's just go back to what Pinnacle has for line history here. They have it. Oh, they said that 3 minutes ago it just moved back to 4. I don't have that. Strange. Very strange. So then the full game total under 7.5 is minus 113. Okay, so I can't find a better than minus 115 right now, unfortunately. Can you?
That's about the best that I see.
Okay.
I see a lot of 115s. So if you see 114, or if anyone has, I don't have every book here. I got about 15 open.
All right. C-Mac has moved first 5 under 4 minus 115. Be curious to see what Bet365 has us at now, because all of a sudden now we're starting to see legit move to that under. Yeah, first 5 under 4 minus 115 here. Top set is doubling up now in this spot. Billy Brisbane play of the day is also the first 5 under. He's paying for the 4.5. And Slow Jams thinks this is an over spot all the way.
If I get B here, that's fine.
I completely get why you're making this move. And Piker says that he has a zany European cousin named Belak, which reminds us all of this show right here, Perfect Strangers.
Wow.
It's horrible. I don't know why that's still there. I shouldn't promote it. Okay.
Oh shit.
I don't know what the first 5 under 4 is minus 118 at bookmaker, but minus 115 at Bet365 too. I could move on it right now if I wanted. This all makes so much sense to me. I don't. Okay. That's the afternoon action. Let's take a look at afternoon action here. I'm adding Pirates full game. Let me pull up the exact lines I got on my other spots here. I should have that ready, but this is all the afternoon MLB action. So we have here we go. I got the first 5 under 5 at minus 105 in Houston, Milwaukee. So minus 115 now. I got the full game under 9.5 at minus 120. And I got Chicago, White Sox, Cleveland, first 5 under 4.5 at minus 115. So I will be adding only Pirates full game. Oops. Stop that. I'll be adding that right now. And that's it. Okay, we're gonna keep going.
Jimmy, you got the 9.5 too. I mean, that's all 9. So
yeah,
at least you got the hook in that, Astro game.
I told myself that if it was where it was at 9.5, that I was gonna buy out of it. I got instant regret. I just, the problem is I felt like in that we should get better as the season goes on. I do not believe that the lines getting tighter will affect us. I think we should get stronger as the season goes on because we have more information. And here I was making a double up bet off one pitcher who's got 18 innings and not 14 innings. I wouldn't do that if this was week 1 or week 2 of the season. So that's why that just felt like it was a mistake. There's Carlos Garcia in the house. Equanimus. I love it. Thank you guys all for joining us. And Johnny Gunn says the Astros game is going to fly over, says Johnny Gunn, says probably 12 runs. Okay, let's move on to afternoon action here. Evening action. We start at 6:40 p.m. Eastern. St. Louis Cardinals 22-28, 11-13 on the road. Cincinnati Reds 20-28, 13-13 at home. Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, Ohio. I did not bet the first 5 in full game overs in Cardinals Reds yesterday, which hurt me badly because of the fear that was created by the marketplace that Wainwright was capable of having a good start, and Pete believing that Wainwright was more than capable of allowing 2 runs in 6 innings. Now, all that did get me off of the Reds' first 5 as well. But still, I should have moved on the overs, and it really bothered me that I didn't. This is a tricky spot, Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, Ohio. We believed in Ben Lively in his last start against the Yankees. He was pitching over in Korea. I kind of like his stuff. I kind of like the opportunity he has for a 31-year-old pitcher. And then Steven Matz is pitching better. I have no idea what to do with Steven Matz. Let me put that out there. I don't know what to do.
You're telling me.
Matz.
This guy.
Yeah, he is.
He's one of my.
He is in the
dartboard.
82 Fahrenheit, 6.9 miles per hour left to right. It stays between 5.6 and 7.2 miles per hour throughout the game. Let's go over to the line history here for this one, Matz and Lively. This is just going towards the over. I mean, it really infuriates me when I sit on my hands and don't make a move here. This first 5 has gone from 5.5 to 6, and yet for some reason I didn't move on the first 5 over. I can't explain that. Let's start with the line history on the money line here. At Pinnacle, there's been a 5-cent move to the Cincinnati Reds. That makes perfect sense to me. Initially, there was a slight move to the Cards, and that kind of confused me. But I think Matz is vulnerable. I think Matz is vulnerable on the road. And we've seen that first 5 go from 5.5 to 6. From the full game perspective on this total, we see it go from 10.5 to 11 at some books. Hasn't gone to 11. Oh, it just dropped from 11. So it moved to 11 at Pinnacle and just dropped back to 10.5. So then there's only been a 6-cent move on the over, which is a bit of a surprise. Spenny Pennybaum's looking at Cincy first 5. Coin saying Cincinnati 19-6-1 first 5 to the over at home. Piker said, I only needed to see Matt starting an early sharp action to the Reds, and I was all over first 5 in full game last night. Nice job. Let's take a look at the cash flow then here for this one. We have 57% of the tickets and 99% of cash on the over. Well, now I feel better for staying off. You have 42% of tickets and 74% of cash on the Reds, which tells me again that I should move on Lively here and stay away from the total because I don't want to be on the side with 99% of cash. Mats is coming off a good start. Now, it was at home, but it was against the Dodgers. 0 earned runs. He did allow 1 run, but 0 earned runs. 4 2/3, 6 Ks, 2 walks. Wasn't bad. He's been horrific on the road. 6.64 ERA. Opponents hitting .333 against him now, just 20 1/3. Lucas Ryan says Barkov confirmed in, won't be 100%. That's fine. That's fine. He'll be in there to take faceoffs, and then will he be able to back check lower body injury? I'm fine with him in. Lively here was very good in that 6-2 loss at home versus the Yankees, but now he comes out on the road. What's he going to give you on the road? Oh, no, he's at home. What the hell am I talking about? Back-to-back home starts. Yeah. Jesus. Cards versus righties, 266, 828 OPS. That's a problem. Reds versus lefties, 268, 738 OPS. Cards bullpen is looking strong. Reds bullpen looking okay. Take it away for us here, C-Mac. Cardinals, Reds.
Yeah, this total, was moved. There's still some 10.5s. And you mentioned yesterday it got there. They tied it up. And it went over. I like the Reds here. I am going to take them first 5. I think there's too much value. Mats has killed me. You talk about the enigma for me over the years. So maybe this isn't the best bet, but I think there's a ton of value here with the Reds. Reds have played the Cardinals tough, especially the last couple of years. There's not a ton from Lively. You mentioned. I thought he was good against that start, pretty good against the Yankees, but he's back here at home. Mats that was his best start against the Dodgers, but I watched it. He struggled. He got out of some jams. He threw over 100 pitches. And I don't trust him. I think the Reds can get some on the board, and I'll take them here. First 5.
Yeah, I think I would like to double up on this spot. I think that's what I would like to do here. Take the first 5 and full game. I just want to see, can I get a better? So it's plus 135 for me at Bet365. If I use the Bet Online account, plus 139 first 5 and plus 131 full game. So it's the same deal here. I like this. Rocker Rogers says he's been interested in the Reds first 5 all morning. Let's line shop for you on this first 5 here. See what we can get you. Money line, first 5. We know that's 135 at Bet365. It's 131 at Bet Online. At Pinnacle, let's see what this is. I'll pull up the site here. See what we can offer you. I'm going to double up. I think I'm going to double up here on the Reds. It's plus 133 full game and first 5. It's down to plus 126. I got to move on this plus 135 immediately. Okay, so the best we can give you is at Bet365, a rarity. A huge rarity. Actually, 5 dimes giving you a plus 137. We'll give you that plus 137 over at 5 dimes. So C-Mac is in. So I'm going to bet this right now. C-Mac is in Reds first 5. I got to fade. Got to fade them.
I see some 140s.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Okay, beautiful. You are locked in. First 5 at plus 140. All right, I want to get this in now. I can tell you how I handled the Rays against the Jays. Look, I don't want to talk about what happened yesterday. I don't find it helps my performance making money. But obviously, the Jays put up 20 runs against the Rays. What happens when your team gets destroyed? Well, you want to throw your ace out there. And that's what the Rays are doing with Shane McClanahan, who is coming off a home start against the Brewers. Now he gets the consecutive home start, the spot that I love very much. And Spenny Pennybomb saying Kikuchi regression. Billy Friedrich says Jay's lineup does not hit McClanahan. So you like the Rays in first 5. Wait. Oh, Jay's lineup does hit McClanahan. Yeah, we talked about the Jay's lineup being able to hit McClanahan. They sure didn't last start against him. So, but we talked about that last start, but they didn't get to him last start. And look what he's done at home. He's been unhittable. And look what the Blue Jays are doing versus lefties in May. 229 with a 686 OPS. Do you know what the Rays are doing in May? 284 with a 954 OPS. So, teams are hitting 284 against Kikuchi on the road. He looked okay at home against the Orioles in the last start. Allowed just that one bomb. I think it was a Mountcastle bomb. Look, in my head, I was thinking about Dennis Garcia and how much money he's been making off Kikuchi and backing him. But I moved on McClanahan and the Rays. So I took them first 3 minus a half at even money and first 5 minus 1 at plus 109. I wanted the plus money spots here. It looks like we've had some buyback here. Interesting. A lot of buyback. Wow. So there's still been a 13-cent move to the Rays, but they got up to minus 197. They got up to minus 200 at 8:14 this morning. And it was offered to me when I could have gone on the minus 1 full game was minus 192. Right now, they're minus 185. So there's been some buyback on the Jays. Not for me, though. I'm on Shane McClanahan here. Let's just take a look at the cash flow for this one. This is a Jays Rays. We have 62% of the tickets and 88% of the cash on the Rays. And from a total perspective, we have 81% of the tickets and 94% cash on the over. I wonder if I should add a Rays team total over or Rays first 5 team total over. I think I probably got enough invested here. Take it away for us, C-Max.
Look up to 2.5. Is that what it is?
The first
Rays first 5.
First team 5 total. Team total over here. Let's get this right now. Is 2.5 juice to the under. Minus 103 to the over, minus 118 to the under.
I'll think of that. Kikuchi finally, he gave up a 3-run homer to Mountcastle on Friday. Shout out, Dennis Garcia just put in the chat. These Rays don't rip him too much. Franco's 4 for 9. There's not a ton of others. But I think this is a Rays spot. I mean, a lot of those runs, they just had throwing softballs up there, but still 20 runs here. And you want your ace McClanahan on the bump. He's been good. This is a, Sharpie. I know this is his guy. I don't know about his K-prop today, but I think he pitches well. I don't know if I want to do – I'm going to look at that team total, the 2.5 there, because I'm like you. I'd have to go minus 1 first 5. I don't know if I want to do that. So I'm going to come back to this one. Someone put in the chat about the Jacks. I think that was Jeffrey Blue. Rocco put it earlier. Look at Walker, Christian Walker, plus 450. He's 5 for 11 with a couple of homers. In this game, look at Franco. He's the only guy with the good numbers. But I have some later. We'll hit too. Props real quick. Get it out.
I love it. Nuke doesn't want to get involved, just going to watch.
Springer, that was the one. 4 for 5 yesterday with the Jack. He's 5 for 15. Here I circled. His Jack's plus 550. 5 for 15 with 3 homers off McClanahan. So look at some Springer today.
It's a really fun game. Really, really fun game. So many different angles going on, especially with this game that we just watched yesterday. So it's going to be fun.
And with Kikuchi, he's 5-0. We were talking about on the show Friday with Jose, but he's given up runs. He's gotten a ton of run support. There's some starts where he's given up 4 runs, because I don't think he should be 5-0. He's got a lot of no decisions, even though he's pitched very well. I'm not trying to rip him or anything.
He's pitched well. He did take the L in his last start, but that
so he's 5-1 then.
But that screwed me because I was on the first 5 over and full game over, and and I also the night before I told Turnsey to bet it. So then I had to deal with, Mountcastle hit the Jack, and I thought I was live. It was very, very frustrating. Very, very frustrating last game with Kikuchi. And then, of course, the added element of Dennis making all this money off of Kikuchi and believing in him and me being on the other side early. So, we'll have to see how this bangs out. But I'm excited about the spot. I'm excited about watching the game.
What do we get, really, with Kikuchi? It's been the same at home, Jimmy. A few good road starts and a few bad. The Angels early, right? He had a bad start, I think, at Boston. We gave up 5. So, what do we get? The good or bad, Kikuchi?
It's a good question. But the Rays smash lefties. They don't smash Kikuchi. They just got embarrassed. We'll see. I think that they can get to him. Next up for us, 7:05 p.m. Eastern, Baltimore Orioles 31-17, 16-9 on the road at New York Yankees 30-20, 17-10 at home. We're in the Bronx. We'll start with the weather in the Bronx. What the hell did I do with it? Here we go. The weather in New York, 67 Fahrenheit, 9.3 miles per hour right to left, and then it becomes in. More and more as the game goes on, stays between 6.6 and 7.5 in. Move over to the line history here for this one. Wells versus Cortez. This is a fascinating matchup. We'll start with the line history on Nestor Cortez. What the hell is Nestor going to give us? Yankees open up at minus 146. They're now minus 132. A 14-cent move away from the Yankees. So we have a move towards the Orioles. Let's take a look at how the total.
I'll be right back, too.
Sure, my man. Let's see how the total is being handled here. So we have a move towards the Orioles. From a total side of things, this opened up at under 8.5 at a pick'em. There's been a 10-cent move to the under. So a move towards the Orioles, a move towards the under. There's my guy Sean Pulliam in the house. Top set says stay away game for him here. And BJ says Rays or none in the spot after getting blown out. And Beefy bets is on Astros, Brewers, Nerfy plus 105. Again, that Pirates game starts in 18 minutes. But let's talk Orioles, Yankees here. We just talked about the line history moving towards the under and moving towards the Orioles. Let's see if that cash is correlated with that. In this one, we have 66% of the tickets, 62% of the cash on the under. I'm okay with that if I did one move. And we have 48% of tickets and 73% cash on the Orioles. Just feels like the Orioles and the under are alive. I'd like to look at what Tyler Wells has done against these Yankees. On the road, he's been good and unlucky. 143 opponent's batting average. He's a very good pitcher. 2.94 ERA, just a 0.79 whip on the year. He has allowed 10 home runs in 52 innings, so he's been barreled at times. Coming off a 6-5 loss at home versus the Angels, 3 earned runs, 2 homers, 7 Ks, 1 walk. Nestor Cortez has had a bad season, but he's coming off a very good start at the Blue Jays. 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, a homer, 6 Ks, and 1 walk. But a 5.21 ERA on the year. He's allowed 8 home runs in 48 and a third. Orioles in May are hitting 257, 783 OPS versus lefties. The Yankees are hitting 251, 777 OPS versus righties. And both bullpens have been very good. Very, very good. Robert Franklin on Baltimore money line. JT on Baltimore, New York, first 5 under 4.5. Beefy bet says take the Yankees run line minus 1.5. Spenny Penny Bombs on Rutschman over 1.5 total bases, plus 160 over half single, plus 110 homer, plus 550. 9 plate appearances versus Cortez, and he's batting .556. I would like to move here on the Baltimore Orioles and Tyler Wells. I wonder if Cortez is just not pitching well at home. They're hitting 276 off of him. The sample size is too small. He is 2-0. I would like to be involved in the under, even though I just got burnt on the under. So I'd be comfortable if I was sitting here with Orioles and the Yankees. I'd be very comfortable there. The Orioles bullpen hasn't had a great month. Not quite as good as what the Yankees have, but we heard Peter talk about on yesterday's show how he believes the Orioles bullpen is better than the Yankees. So I think it's a move on the Orioles and the under. I would prefer a full game under because I want to bank on the bullpens. Topset says Yankees are past, so this line is a gift if Nestor deals. Yeah. So that's where it all comes down to. Do we expect Nestor to be the same, to show the same strength that he did at Toronto, which is not what he's done all year? That's the question. And then if you do, you have to think that Tyler Wells will be decent enough. So let's say if the Yankees do win, I think the under's live. But I think the market is pushing us in the direction that on both, and I'm going to bet both. I've said enough here. I'm going to be on the Orioles full game and the full game under. Let's hear what C-Mac has to say about this AL East battle in the Bronx. Orioles, Yankees, take it away.
Yeah, I get it. I like the Orioles here too. Tyler Wells has pitched well. I know it's at Yankee Stadium. Here, only one guy's really hit him, Judge. He's 8 for 17 with 3 homers, but he's on a tear. Anyways, he's Aaron Judge. But I don't mind your under. Cortez hasn't been, great. I thought he pitched all right his last start against the Jays, but I think there's too much value here with the Orioles. So I just don't want to go first 5 or full game here.
Yeah, I understand. The same here. I don't know if I want to go first 5 or 4.
2 of the best bullpens, so really, when you think of that.
Yeah, and I don't want to double up just in case. Okay, real deal, my man. BJ saying Cortez very vulnerable. I don't want to double up. I don't, just in case Cortez is great, because that's not a after that great start against the Jays, it's not an impossibility. Although we did talk about the Jays not hitting lefties. Part of the reason why their stats are so weak against lefties was because of the start that Cortez just had. So Piker did split his bet first 5 full game. Piker, is that on the total or is that on the side? Christopher Comte loves Baltimore. Oh well, I'm in. I'm in. Mike M says Yankees have gone over 9 home games in a row after going extras the previous game. That's interesting. Yeah. How deep did they go into their bullpen? Maybe. Let me just see how deep. I forget how deep they went in that game. I got very irritated and I let go. Let me just see, because that might give me reason to only bet the first 5 under and not the full game under. Very interesting take there by Mikey on his birthday, delivering the goods. Let's see. They
just went like 1 inning, or did it go to the?
Yeah, just 1 inning. How many pitchers did they go through? I went through King and Peralta, who've been so good this year. And then the Orioles, Givens, Cano, Batista, and Baker. I think it's fair to be a little concerned about how deep they went. And I think that that's a great point by Mike, and I've got to go first 5 under. So if that's the case, let me just see what the line history has been on the first 5. We know the full game there's been a move to the under. Let me just see this first 5 line history here. Great note, Mike. Regardless of the outcome, the note is very important. So this total has gone from first 5 total has gone from minus 108 down to minus 121. So a 13-cent move on that first 5 under 4.5. And then how much are they going to charge me at Bet365? Minus 125 picks. Let's just see if Bet Online. Well, I'll do that at the end. Okay. I've moved. Nice job, Joe. I got plus 100, but that plus 110 is better than what I got. Okay, I'm going to go first 5 under then. First 5 under and Orioles full game. All right, let's move on. I guess I wonder. Wait. Let's not move on. If I'm going to take the first 5 under, and I wonder if the look for the Orioles would be first 5 instead of full game. But again, I'm using Cortez here, and we just saw the pitchers that were used. Let's go over that again. So Givens is gone, Cano, Batista, Baker. Let's just see who pitched yesterday. Or sorry, 2 days ago. Let's just go back one more day for the Orioles. Sorry, you guys. This is very important though. It's coming down to winning or losing. Oh, but they had a day off. Both teams had a day off on the 22nd. That's important. Some of these guys can go a second day. That's important.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that they had the day off. I don't think I need to go first 5. I think I can still bank on how good these bullpens are. Okay. I'm going to go back to full game. So I'm on the Orioles and the full game under. And C-Mac, the Orioles are a question mark for you right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably pull the trigger on them first 5.
Oh, it's the Orioles first 5. Okay, Orioles. So I've got question marks there. So I've got on the couple spots that you're questioning, I've got question marks there, and we will double back. Okay, let's move on. 7:05 p.m. Eastern. San Diego Padres 22-26, 10-11 on the road. The Washington Nationals 20-28, 10-16 at home. We're at Nationals Park in Washington D.C. We have Ryan Weathers versus Trevor Williams. I would like to get involved in this game here, and I know exactly what I want to do. Let's see if things correlate. First off, 80 Fahrenheit, 4.7 miles per hour in. The weather fluctuates. I mean, it's light, but by the end of the game, it's out. But still always between 4.7 and 5.6 miles per hour. Let's move over to the line history here. We'll start with the total. I'm much more interested in a side on this one than a total, but here, from a total perspective, Pinnacle has moved it to 10. They moved it to 10 at 8:10 a.m. The other books haven't followed suit, surprisingly. Usually when Pinnacle makes a move like that, the other books follow suit. That has not happened. It's 9.5 at Bet365, but it is minus 125 to the over. So we have a move to the over. Let's take a look at this money line here for this one. I do not trust Weathers at all, but I'm only going to do this if it correlates. If not, I'm not going to, and it doesn't. Washington's gone from plus 128 to plus 140. There's been a 13-cent move to the Padres. That's going to probably keep me off of this spot. Let's take a look at the cash flow then for this one. Lose it? Here we go. The cash flow for this spot, we have 28% of the tickets and 70% of the cash on the Nationals. So why are the books showing no concern by the perceived sharp action? Well, obviously it's not sharp action if the books keep moving it towards the Padres. And then you have 80% of tickets and 68% of cash on the under, and the line's moving towards the over. Just tricky. Ryan Weathers, a last start, 4-0 loss to the Dodgers. Maybe it's the Dodgers, but 5 2/3, 3 hits, 4 runs, 1 homer, 3 Ks, 4 walks. Maybe it's not as bad as I thought it was. He's only thrown 23 2/3 this year, and he's been pretty good. He's only allowed 2 home runs. His K to walk ratio is trash, which has been so often. 3.42 ERA, 1.14 WHIP, and 14 Ks to 9 walks. Trevor Williams is tricky, and he can be good at home. Yeah, opponent's hitting 239 against him at home with a 2.55 ERA. He's coming out 5-3 loss at Miami, and he had a quality start. Padres are hitting just 202 with a 622 OPS against righties. Nats are hitting 306, 854 versus lefties. But the books are opening up their arms to look. JT is on Washington first 5 money line. Joe Yurkovich looking at Nats team total over. Billy Friedrich on Nats first 5 plus half. That's what I wanted to do, but I can't do it if the books are not going to show any fear whatsoever. And the Padres bullpen has been the best bullpen in May, and Nats bullpens look vulnerable. Take it away for us here, C-Mac, Padres, Nats.
You're right. Their bullpen has looked better here. For me, this would be Nats first 5 here. I love how they've been able to get runs off lefties. You talked about the average. There's not a whole lot of power with them. I'm not a big Weathers fan. This is Nationals or nothing for me here. Every once in a while, Williams is just like, I don't know, he's just there, like 4.5 ERA type guy. But I think you could pitch all right here in this one. I don't trust the Padres. At some point, they're going to get hot, get a little bit healthy and everything and score some runs. But I don't know if it's today. So I'm leaning Nats here.
I wanted to bet them. It was going to be more than a lean, but it's not going to be after studying the market. I'm not going to be able to do it. So it's going to be a pass for me at this point. Johnny Gunn saying over, over, over. This is the turning point for the Friars. He expects runs. Billy Friedrich says, how does Bob Melvin still have a job? Okay, so that's a pass. I really wanted to fade Weathers and back Trevor Williams in that spot, but I will pass. Let's move on. LA Dodgers at Atlanta Braves. We had the Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia. This one's going to be a lot of fun. This is also the spreadsheet play of the day on the Atlanta Braves at minus 114. Shout out to our friend Ron Crawford. We're at Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia. We'll start off with the weather, 77 Fahrenheit, 6.9 miles per hour to right field. Goes from 6.9 down to 5.3. And Not Flush On said that this is the play that jumps off the board thing in San Diego. So Nats team total over will be on this card. And Rocco Rogers is on the over 9.5 plus 100. Let's talk about this spot because Tony Gonsolin looks so good. And Bryce Elder looks very good himself. Let's start off. Oh, I just dropped the weather. Let me just look at it again. Slightly out, 5.3 to 6.9. Let's move over to the line history here. This opened up with the Braves at minus 114. That's exactly where they are right now. There was an initial move towards the Braves. It's come back, though. So there's been no movement towards the Braves. Let's take a look at the total, see if there's been movement there. The full game total in this one, we open up at 9.5, which even that surprised me. Oh, excuse me. Pinnacle opened up at 9. I didn't realize that it opened up at 9. It didn't move to 9.5 till midnight. So, and I should remember that now because I wanted the under initially. I was like, why would this be juiced to the over? Like, it just makes no sense to me. And now it's at 9.5. It did drop to 9 again at 11:30, but back to 9.5. So, no move on the side, a move to the over, which is sort of confounding with how these two young pitchers have looked this year.
This is one, I think, this is one I like to wait with, like on a total like this for later in the day a little bit. It happened a couple weeks ago with that Phillies game. I think it was the Blue Jays, Gausman, Wheeler, and like an hour and a half before, it just all clicked and it dropped, and I didn't get on it. I made a mistake. So this is one I want to wait on the total because, it just seems like the under. Gonsolin, his numbers are really good. And I've seen him, and he's only got tagged in the playoffs, which I remember it. The Braves have hit him. But other than that, they're hitting like 190 off him. Elder's been good. I was on that first 500 Friday with him, his last start with the Mariners. I think he's pitched well. I'm leaning Braves and that under here. I'm just going to wait on this one a little bit.
Rocco is a strong lean to the Dodgers. Morgan Spoon says negative regression to the means for both pitchers is coming. JT's on the first 5 under 5, and Piker says under first 5 seemed too easy and obvious. Someone explained why it's a bad look, and Tops is saying Elder will regress right here. Piker says has the first 5 total moved. Let's look at it. But first off, 58% of the tickets and 63% of cash are on the over. And that surprises me. I can't figure that out.
Dodgers have been scoring runs, Jimmy, lately, kind of been an over team. And then even their pens gotten touched a little bit.
DC, my man, my bad. DC, I still have a tricky time because sometimes you just give the number and you don't give the play. So, but I see you did with San Diego, Washington over 9.5. Okay, but there. So you do your top play and then you'll repeat it with the side. So you have the Yankees win. So my bad, DC. But you write top play, Baltimore, New York Yankees, and you don't give us the play. So then I get back to work, and then you give us play. So I would prefer if you don't mind, instead of just putting the game up and then giving us the play later on, if you would just give us the play, that would make it easier for me because I get confused with how you write your action. Because, I see the number 6, but I don't see a side, and I'm like, so that's all. Okay, but let's move back here but I love hearing your action, DC. But if I'm not mentioning it, it's because I don't, because that's why. It's just a little confusing at times. So Piker wanted to know the first 5 total here for us. Let's see if there's been movement on it. Let's take a look at it right now, Piker, my man. We are off and running in our Pirates game. That's going to be a fun one to watch and possibly live bet if we're so inclined. But let's take a look here. The first 5. Wow. I'm going to make sure this isn't a stale line. But there's been a huge move to the over on the first 5 at Pinnacle. A 23-cent move. That's wild. And I know, C-Mac explaining it's with how, these two teams have been offensively, but I'm just going to make sure that's not stale. I guess the first thing I look at is the pitchers. And and it's not stale. That's exactly what's going on right now. The under 5 right now, Pinnacle is plus 105, and the Rangers are already up 1-0. Already up 1-0 for Top Set's best bet. And Coin is on first 5 over 4 minus 125 in Philadelphia. Cleveland first 5 in his pocket. And there we go. So let's just touch on this quickly. Gonsolin's been very good. We don't need to talk about his home road splits because he's only thrown 24 innings this year. His K to walk ratio is not really where he wants it, but 1.13 ERA, 0.92 whip. The Cardinals were running hot, and he shut them down in a 5-0 win in St. Louis. 5 innings, 1 hit, 3 Ks, 3 walks. Elder, you talked about that spot against Bryce Miller. He looked so good. Didn't he just look so good? Elder is the real deal. Now, I can understand when someone in the chat says that he's going to regress to the mean. He's allowed 3 home runs and 52 1/3. He's been spectacular this year. 2.06 ERA, 1.15 whip. Dodgers hitting 246, 778 OPS versus righties, but the Braves in May versus righties not very good. There's my guy UPK, my guy Robert Cherry in the house. Braves versus righties is 229, 695 OPS, and both bullpens have been, mediocre or worse. Spreadsheet play days on the Braves. C-Mac, what's your plan here? Dodgers, Braves.
I'm going to wait on it. Like I was talking about. This total, it's got my head scratching. Elder I think he's been really good all year. And he had a ton of strikeouts, but he's not a strikeout guy. He only hits 90, 91. But I think he's pretty crafty here. Braves at home. I lean Braves in this game, and I'm going to sit with the total.
Yeah, this one is confounding. I'm going to be off of it. Let's move on. Next up for us, 7:40 p.m. Eastern. Thank you guys so much for joining us here on Pub Sports Radio. Detroit Tigers at Kansas City Royals, Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. Let's take a look at the weather and the line history here for this one in KC. We have rain coming in the middle of this game, light rain. I'm not sure if it will affect the game. Let's see what RotoWire says about whether this will be affected too much, but it's something to mention for sure. I'm just going to see if they think it's a possibility that this game wouldn't go with the weather report, and no, they think that it's fine, but there will be rain at some point in this one. Let's move over to the line history here for Greinke versus Boyd. Now, Boyd came up in the Toronto Blue Jays system, and we had Bobano on the show thinking that Boyd's an absolute gas can, and then Boyd got destroyed didn't get out of the second inning. But then Boyd came back and had a decent start, and I'm not nearly as down on Boyd as Bobano, but Bobano was bang on, and it cashed for everybody. But then he came back and had a decent start. We'll go over that. The Royals opened up minus 117. They're now minus 114. That surprised me. Greinke has been good at home. He's been good at home over his career. By the way, Texas has runners on against Oviedo and not looking like the start I was hoping for from Oviedo. Runners on the corners with 1 out. Let's go back to the total here on this one. So this opened up at 9 at most books. It opened up at 9 at Pinnacle. This just moved to 8.5. The first time it moved to 8.5, it got back to 9. And then it moved to 8.5 again. That's where we stand right now, 8.5, juice to the over. So we don't have a move to the Royals, and we do have a move to the under now, 2-0 Texas. Don't like that at all. So let's go here. For this spot here, 54% of the tickets and 48% of the cash are on the Royals. So there's more people believing in Boyd and the Tigers than I thought. And then look at this, 69% of tickets and 99% of cash on the over, and the market moving towards the under. Now, this is a small sample size of action. So Boyd's last start, 8-6 win at the Nats. The Nats smashed lefties, and they got 3 earned runs off Boyd, but it was over 5 2/3. Mike M has the young RBI cashes in the first at-bat. Beautiful work. Robert Franklin says now 2-0 Rangers. On the road, Boyd's been much better than he's been at home. On the road, 4.29 ERA, 203 opponent's batting average. And the same can be said about Greinke at home. Much better than he's been on the road. 3.21 ERA, 255 opponents batting average. The Tigers aren't hitting righties. Royals are hitting a little better than the Tigers these days. And the Tigers bullpen is being elite of late. Take it away for us here, C-Mac. Tigers, Royals.
Yeah, I'm not a big Matthew Boyd fan either. Even when he gives up a few, he seems to always be working hard. You know what I mean? There's always guys on base. He seems to just go 4 to 5 innings. I can't trust him. A little bit of the problem, and Greinke, you talked about, it's been pretty good the last month. Better at home, and I like him here. The Royals at this price, I can't get myself to bet it. You know what I mean? And the total you mentioned, I don't trust these sticks. I lean under. But shit, they could put at 10 runs. It's been tough for me to back the Royals at times this year already. Tigers a little bit better. So in the end, I'm going to be off.
I'm going to be off too. But 99% of the tickets on the over and this line moving to the under, I mean.
These guys have pitched well. Like Cabrera's the only guy that, boosts that up to 286 because he's 13 for 43 with all those at bats against Greinke. But Boyd's pretty good. Here, what's his written 217, 83 at bats. So I get it. What's the weather again here?
The weather is 5.6 miles from right to left. I wonder if the rain coming in could mess up something. And the both bullpens have been better. And I've been saying to you guys for like 6 weeks that the Royals bullpen's better than the numbers indicate. I guess I'm going to have to stay off of the spot here. But 99% of cash on the over and it drops a half run. I mean, they're pointing and laughing at that cash. But I mean, I kind of like.
You got to have a little trust in do with these guys on the bump.
And I have. Oh, why do I have my bad? I have Royals versus righties when I should have Royals versus lefties. That's my apology. Royals versus lefties. They're smashing lefties in May. Bankroll Spence says Greinke's playable at home. Royals had to use Chapman yesterday. Don't like our bullpen today. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to stay off here. Okay, I'm gonna stay off that spot. So we're letting that bum fight pass. It was very bothersome that I didn't realize that Senga had been pulled yesterday. I would have hammered. I would have bet more than a unit on Smiley going up against McGill. Well, it's easy to say afterwards, but New York Mets and Chicago Cubs. Yesterday was a void, unfortunately. Wrigley Field in Chicago, Illinois. Let's move over to the weather here at Wrigley first. We have, move up. Here we go. 58 Fahrenheit and 18 miles per hour in. 18 to 16.1. It's very, very. Billy Friedrich on Tigers full game here. So Mets, Cubs, Senga versus Stroman. So here we go. Kodai, Senga versus Stroman. Let's take a look at this total. It's dropped to 6. Oh, no, not everywhere. Pinnacle is still holding it at a 7. It did drop it to 6.5 and then got back up to a 7. Interesting. So this line's actually moved to the over overall at Pinnacle. That's hard to believe. But there's been an 11-cent move to the over with this wind. They must be thinking that Senga's vulnerable. That's a surprise. That catches me by surprise. Let's take a look at the money line on this one. And here we go. I'm taken back. Usually when the wind is like this, it's just a pretty easy move here on the under. But let's see what they have here for line history on the money line. We have the Cubs opening up -108. They're now -106. There's been a 2-cent move to the Mets. Let's go over to the cash flow then for this one. 79% of the tickets and 82% of the cash is on the over. That's just crazy to me with the wind blowing in. Then we have 48% of the tickets and 79% of cash on the Cubs, but the line's not moving towards the Cubs. Mike M says Cubs have gone 5-0 versus Mets as a dog. Stroman 19-3 under in home starts at night. And Topset says, take the live under in Texas. He says, I'm telling you, the ump is calling strikes way outside of the plate. Nice call. Thank you for sharing that with us. Remember, Topset said the Rangers -1.5 was his favorite play. Senga coming off a great start at home over the Rays, but we've been talking about that for a little while now, that he's a fade on the road and a buy-in at home. Stroman on the other side, 3-4, 3.05 ERA, 1.14 whip. He had a great bounce-back start in the 10-1 win at the Phillies, and he's been lights out at home. 2.79 ERA, 190 opponent's batting average. Mets aren't hitting righties in May, 241, 705. Cubs aren't hitting righties either, 231, 714, and both bullpens have been bad. Take it away. Nothing lines up the way I was hoping for in this spot because I'd like to back Stroman. Take it away for us here, CMAC Mets Cubs.
Yeah, people just bet 6.5, 7, especially when the wind here at Wrigley's crazy, but two solid pitchers, but probably, not aces here. Stroman bounced back, that last start at Philly. I thought it was good. I want to back him at home. I want to fade Senga here. I'm just going to take the Cubs full game. I know the wind blowing in is tricky, but over a 6 ERA on the road, and, at Cincinnati, he gave up 5. The Giants and the A's early on, he gave up 4 apiece, couldn't even get through it. And if he keeps walking people, no matter how many strikes out, I think he gives up some runs. So I want the Cubs.
I get it. Makes sense to me. Let's see what we can get you line shop for the Cubbies. Looks like Pinnacle has the best price at -106. Let's just make sure that this is a valid line right now on the Chicago Cubs. Yes, -106. I'll see if I can beat that anywhere, but that is the best line at this point. Be even better than 5 dimes, which is a rarity. -106 is the best we have here. Do you have better than that anywhere?
No.
C-Mac
I'm looking around.
Cubs -106. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to stay off, but I like it. There's Dabra Cadabra in the house. Says first 5 under 4, but it's juicy. All right. We move. Oh, and Morgan Spooner looking at the Senga K prop. Okay, we move on. C-Mac on the Cubs -106. All right, next up for us, Miami Marlins at Colorado Rockies, Coors Field in Denver, Colorado. Sandy Alcantara going up against Carl Kaufman. Carl Kaufman, I guess they're both extremely tricky. The last year's National League Cy Young Award winner with a 5 ERA. And then you have Carl Kaufman here, and I don't know what we're going to get from him. Second-round pick out of the University of Michigan. We discussed him. That was in the 2019 draft. 25 years old, Kaufman is. He got destroyed in Albuquerque this year. And I didn't really know what to do with it. He had a bad year in Albuquerque last year. I mean, he's just been lit up in Albuquerque. Last year in Albuquerque, 6.05 ERA, 1.80 whip. This year in Albuquerque, a 7.78 ERA and a 1.78 whip. And yet that's enough for him to get called up here. It's Bankroll Spence says Carl Kaufman sounds like a fake person. Noli knows, loving it. To C-Mac keep rolling. Sandy Alcantara here, coming off 4-3 loss to the Giants. I didn't know what to do with him in that game. On the road, opponents are hitting 298 off of him, off last year's Cy Young Award winner with a 6.46 ERA. Carl Kaufman looks atrocious. The Marlins aren't hitting righties. Rockies are smashing righties. Both bullpens have been good. Let's take a look at the line history and the weather. First off, Coors Field weather. We have 64 Fahrenheit, 8.9 miles per hour to right field, between 8.9 and 8.3 miles per hour. Let's take a look at the line history here for the Rockies and Carl Kaufman. We have a 8-cent move to the Marlins. 8-cent move to the Miami Marlins here. Let's take a look at the total in this one. This is just this is as good. I don't know. I guess Alcantara is such. I'd love to fade Kaufman. There's no reason for anyone to back him. From a total scenario here, we have this total opening up at 11. It's dropped to 10.5. I mean, I know it's a little cool, but it is blowing out. So we have a move to the under and a move to the Marlins, which, even that I find confusing. Let's take a look at the cash flow here. 40% of the tickets and 79% of the cash are on Kaufman and the Rockies. From a total perspective, 47% of the tickets and 82% cash are on the over, and it's moved to the under. I'm going to look up Alcantara's work at Coors Field, but Kaufman's had one start. It was a 7-2 loss at the Rangers. He went 4 in the third, allowed 5 runs, 4 of which were earned. Take it away for us, C-Mac. I'm all ears. Marlins, Rockies.
Yeah, I want to look that up too. I do know when these teams, and it's happened the last couple of days, Rockies, Marlins, they get together. They're just unders. I think, we're getting a move here. And Sandy on the mound, you talk about, it's a little cold, but the wind's blowing out. Carl Kaufman, this guy's just a fade. I want the Marlins team total. So, it's 5.5 minus 135. So first 5, I don't know what that would be. That'd be 3.5 with a team that hasn't hit well at all. But this guy is bad. I thought he got all right, giving up 4 runs. What, to the Rangers? Was that his last start?
Yeah.
To double check? Yeah, with Kaufman. I mean, I've gone through all his minor league numbers. I don't know how this has got to be his last start. He consistently gives up 5 runs in AAA or more regularly. And I just don't think he's got the shit. So mine is the Marlins. The price is crazy. I can't take them, even with Sandy here. I was only looking maybe at that team total, first 5, but I have to have the Marlins get 4. Jimmy.
The last time Alcantara pitched at Coors Field was in 2021. He allowed 10 earned runs in 3 2/3. I mean, I don't know what I got to stay off of this spot here.
Yeah.
I can understand your team total look. Let's see what Pinnacle is offering you, because they've dropped this total down. So they'll give you the Marlins team total, but it's heavily juiced. Well, it's a cent cheaper than yours. 5.5 at minus 134.
Yeah.
Do you want it?
No. I would only I'd go first 5, and I'd have to go to 3.5.
3.5 is at plus 110 here.
That's last night. That's what I was looking at. You have to get these Marlins to get 4. You think these AAA teams consistently get 4 or 5 out here off Kaufman? They can. I have this circled, so I don't know if I pull the trigger.
Yeah, it is. It's not humid at all. But why don't we pull up Ballpark Pal and take a look and see how they see this spot here for the total, even though I'm going to stay off of it here. But Coors Field plus 21% in runs. Plus 21% in runs, and this is going to the over. That's wild to me. And the ones that are, huge negative, obviously Wrigley Field, like we talked about, minus 16%. Yankee Stadium, minus 13%. And T-Mobile, minus 12%. Angel Stadium, minus 8%. Truist Park, minus 5%. Almost every stadium here is a negative, except for Great American Ballpark, Citizens Bank, and, of course, Coors. It's wild. Okay, so no action for us here. Morgan Spooner says Alcantara's stuff doesn't play well at Coors. BABIP goes way up on the weak contact. Okay, we are going Robert Franklin, though, on the over. And Piker's on Colorado full game, so Sandy isn't right. Profar RBI plus 185 from Mikey M. And Morgan Spooner says Senga K-Prop is 6.5 minus 110. Says, as a Cubs fan, I can't wait to watch these terrible swings. He only needs to pitch 4 innings. And we're talking about home run shots, something that C-Mac absolutely destroys. We've got Spenny's in. Judge, Rutschman, Harold Ramirez, Julio Rodriguez are his home run shots. I'm going to copy and paste those. All right, let's talk about the Boston Red Sox next up. We have 2 games left here, and let's discuss. 9:38 p.m. Eastern. Boston Red Sox 26-23, 11-12 on the road at the LA Angels. 27-23, 14-10 at home at Angel Stadium in Anaheim, California. And what a breakdown we've had from Jose Bouquet on James Paxton, Big Maple, his velocity going up, and he's been bang on here. Let's bring him on right now. Star of Say Hey Plays of the Day, coming to us from San Antonio, Texas. Please welcome Jose. There's blood all over my tits, Bouquet. Jose, how are you, my friend?
Good. Good. Can't complain. It got bottom out like we talked about last night, but we bounced back as always. First losing day in like 10 days or something like that. So we were rolling. So let's try to keep it up again.
Yeah, and we talked about it. Focus on what you were succeeding with, because we all watched you succeed. So just focus on that. And these days happen. They just happen, unfortunately. Red Sox, Angels, Paxton has looked very good. Last spot, 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, solo shot, 5 Ks, 2 walks, 6-1 win at the Padres. And, I like Tyler Anderson. And I know that he's been bad so far this year, 1.62 ERA, 27 strikeouts, 21 walks. Now, the K to walk ratio was never anything he was very good at. He has already allowed 7 home runs and 42 and 2/3, but I think that he's going to get better as the season goes on. We should probably hear, we should hear from Jose about Paxton. We should hear from C-Mac about Tyler Anderson, because Tyler Anderson's been now for the Dodgers and the Angels. On the road, he's been okay, 4.23 ERA, 276 opponents batting. I mean, okay. Red Sox in May are destroying lefties. 294, 843 OPS, and the Angels are hitting them hard. 273, 721 OPS. Both bullpens have not looked good here. Not looked good at all in May. So Benjamin Mills says Justin Turner 18 for 36. Is Turner healthy? Why do I think he's not? Is he healthy right now? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he's good. Okay. Big Show in the house. Great to see you, Big Show, my man. So let's take a look at we have the Ballpark Pal here, so we'll start with that. So over at Great American Ballpark, it's plus 23% for home runs and plus 7% for runs. So it's the second most offensive weather situation for a squad. But let's go right to the actual weather here. 64 Fahrenheit, 9.2 miles per hour to center, goes down to 7.9 miles per hour. Then let's pull up the line history for this spot. We'll start with the total. This total opened up at a pick'em at 9 at most spots. It opened up juice to the over here at Pinnacle minus 114. It's now minus 118, and it did touch 9.5. It touched 9.5 last night, but came right back to 9. So we have a 4-cent move to the over. Let's take a look at the money line. 4-cent move to the over. The 2 lefties on the hill. Let's take a look at the money line. This opened up as close to a pick'em at most books. It opened up with the Angels minus 108. They're now plus 109. An 18-cent move to the Boston Red Sox. So we have a big move to the Red Sox and a very slight move to the over. 76% of the tickets, 77% of cash on the over, and just a slight move. I would actually probably, if I was solely focusing on market, would move away from it. And then 58% of the tickets, 78% cash on the Red Sox, and a clear belief in Boston and what Paxton's doing here. So let's hear from you, Jose. Please, somebody wipe the blood off my tits bouquet. Red Sox Angels, take it away.
Red Sox looking to avoid the sweep. Offense has been dormant the last 2 days. Pitching has been phenomenal, so I can't complain about that. I like the Red Sox here, first 5 full game. You mentioned they kill lefties this month. Full season against lefties, they are 11th, 111 weighted runs created plus. Angels against lefties this month, worse than they are full season. I don't believe in Tyler Anderson. Red Sox win.
I got to get in on this. Can you, just for some of the people who didn't hear your breakdowns of Paxton before, talk about his velocity?
He had a case of the Chris Sales basically, and he's been out for fucking 3 years. He was on the Yankees once upon a time, and he pitched 5 starts there, hurt, and he signed with the Red Sox. Been hurt for ever since, and this has been the culmination of all that. And the Red Sox training staff has got him to throw 97 consistently. It's been pretty ridiculous. And shout out to my guy, Marco Gonzalez, because he said this very nice thing about James Paxton, and I've made money against him this year. He said himself, when Paxton's throwing hard, 97, 98, whatever, he's one of the best lefties in baseball. And thank God Chaim Bloom is a competent human being, signed him, and for some odd reason, he picked up his option this year, and he's back on the Red Sox. So he's been phenomenal in his 2 starts, 6 innings, 1 earned run, 5 hits against the Padres, who, they've been struggling as of late, but they're supposed to hit lefties. He dominated them. And then against the Cardinals, another team who we know historically hits lefties really well, 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs in his first start back. So it just seems like James Paxton is that dude. And who knows how long this will last. It's not going to last forever, obviously, and we'll have to just watch his velocity start to start and see how that goes, because this is his first time pitching in fucking 2 years. So we'll see, but I like him here.
I like it too. Let's hear what C-Mac has to say. I think this is a double up spot for me. I know the market's moved heavily in the Red Sox direction, but not so heavy that I can't get involved. And it's clear the markets are concerned. Take it away for us, C-Mac. Red Sox, Angels.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. I wrote this down. Red Sox and the over here last night. This was one of my stronger, leans when I went through all the games. I think Paxton can be all right. The Angels, have hit lefties well so far to start the year, 282, but I don't know how really they're going to be. That's a wait and see. But the Red Sox, as of late, maybe the road trips kind of getting to them. Didn't score any runs the last couple of days. But I like him here, still hitting 267, 772 OPS. So I like the Red Sox. Someone mentioned Justin Turner. Yeah, he just owns them, 18 for 36. But his numbers are right. But I'd go to the guy who's cashed for me all year. I'm probably like 4 for 7 with his jack. That's Devers, 2 for 4 with a homer. I look to him, and you can get almost 500 with him, plus 450 or higher.
I like it. And I said the numbers, C-Mac for the Red Sox in May against lefties, 294, 843 OPS. I love it. I'm in. I am in. C-Mac, what do we want to make official for you here?
First 5 front with me with the Red Sox.
First 5 on the Boston Red Sox. Jose, did you tweet? Oh, look at this. Look, don't look now. Raise it.
Quietly. I have not tweeted anything, so you can line shop.
Well, let's line shop for you. So we'll line shop for both of you guys on the first 5.
And BJ's asking about the line movement again, going towards the Red Sox.
Sure, I got you. I will hit you with a big move towards Red Sox. I got minus 118 is the lowest, and it's at a few books. So I don't know if that can be beaten here. But that is the best I can find. Can you find better than that, C-Mac?
Let me look.
Okay, first 5 on the Red Sox, minus 118. And then the full game, which I'm going to be on as well. On the Boston, I should have been on this already, man. Stupid.
I do admittedly kind of want to triple up and add the -1 as well. Shout out to Pete. I think my line for this is probably 8.5. Higher total, higher volatility, et cetera, et cetera. And plus money is also ideal as well. So I'll take all 3, I suppose, is what I'm saying.
Okay, well, you get minus 118 on both the first 5 and the full game, Jose.
Cool.
If you can put together a -1 for us. We have a Delaware double from our Razor Sharp Picks, 1-3 to the 5. It's a $25 double. Cost Razor $50. Yes, BJ, my man, the line movement here is pretty drastic in favor of these Red Sox. It's a pretty legit move towards them. Oh, sorry, I got the first 5 up, so let me just get the full game.
Plus 108, by the way, for everyone out there at home, -1.
-1 at plus 108, and the movement towards the Red Sox is they have 58% of the tickets, but the Red Sox have gone from even money to -118. That's a big move. The first move, though, was towards the Angels. It's a pretty legit move towards them, 7 cents. Since then, there's been a 24-cent move away from them. So your -1, was at plus
108.
All right, I like it. Razor Sharp Picks says you'll never see those prices at Santa Anita. We'll see on Sunday, Razor, and I need to talk to you because I want you to be sitting right beside me for that show. So I'll call you right after this show. C-Mac on the Red Sox first 5. Jose on the Red Sox first 5, full game and full game -1. I'm going to be on the Red Sox first 5 and full game. We have a run scored. I guess that was a sac fly, I guess. We need another sac fly here. But the Pirates are threatening. All right, let's talk about the final spot on our board today. Jose, you want to stick with us for the final game?
I fucking hate the Oakland A's. I bet on them 4 straight days. I've lost on every single game, so fuck the Oakland A's. Can't wait for them to move to fucking Vegas.
All right. And we hear from Jose. Somebody protect my tits. Bouquet does not want to talk A's. Mariners, we will handle it there. Grit and Grind cashing the first 5 over. The Pirates have 2 on the board now. And we're live. A's 10-40 on the year, 5-20 on the road. Against the Mariners, 24-24, 12-12 at home. We're at T-Mobile Park in Seattle, Washington. We will start. I will do a ballpark pile up too. So why don't we take a look at what they think of the day here? T-Mobile minus 12%. Oh, but I don't know if the roof will even be open. Let's see. 60. No, probably will be. Usually when it's over 60 Fahrenheit, the roof will be open. So 8.1 miles per hour in down to 7.2. I guess you can expect the roof to be open here.
Yeah, it should be. Be open.
So we have old Kenny Waldicuck. 1-3, 6.85 ERA, 1.85 WHIP, 39 Ks in 46 innings. The problem is 28 walks, and the bigger problem is 13 home runs allowed. 13 home runs in 46 innings. He's coming off a much better start at Houston. Some of these weaker pitchers tend to do that at Houston for some reason. 5 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, just 3 of which were earned, 5 Ks and 3 walks. But on the road, he's been absolutely atrocious. 306 opponents batting average, 8.39 ERA. Going up against the young stud Bryce Miller, who's been nothing short of spectacular thus far. 2-1, 1.42 ERA, 0.51 WHIP. 22 Ks and 2 walks and not a home run allowed. He's coming off that 6-2 loss at the Braves. That was really fun. Went up against Elder. It was a great performance. Even he still pitched fine. Got touched up early, but 6 1/3, 3 earned runs, 4 Ks, 1 walk. A's are hitting 206, 627 OPS in May versus righties. Mariners are hitting 244, 714 OPS versus lefties, and the Mariners bullpen so much better than the A's bullpen. So let's take a look at the line history here for this one. I must have hurt Jose so badly, but it really hurt me to the bottom of the 5th there yesterday. It's just one of those heartbreaking spots. There's been a huge move to the Mariners. So this is the first time we've seen that really for a while. We always have been seeing the sharps on the A's, not here. Mariners opened up at minus 255. They're now minus 291. Wow. 36-cent move towards the Seattle Mariners. Been a while since we've seen that. So a huge move to the Mariners. I can imagine that there's still going to be big bets placed on the A's, and we will take a look at that. But a big move to the Mariners. And from a total perspective here, we had this open up at 8, slightly juiced to the over. It's now at 8.5. So we moved to 8.5. Spenny Pennybomb says, Waldicuck giving up 14 homers in 46 innings. Julio hasn't faced him, but swing a hot bat will take him. New Cooker says A's going to break the Mets season record for futility. Nunya hit the Mariners first half in full game, and it is 3-2 after 2. 3-2 after 2 in that game, so didn't get that third run in. Let's take a look at the cash flow, and like always, like always, big bets are coming in on the A. Oh, no, sorry, just flipped on me. There we go. Big bets are coming in on the A. 7% of the tickets and 47% of the cash. That's just nuts to me that the sharps keep doing this. And then 54% of tickets, 93% cash on the over. Some legit money on the over. Take it away for us here. Last spot on the board, C-Mac, A's Mariners.
Yeah. Waldicuck here. He can't back him. There's a few starters for the A's that I'm willing to maybe back when they're especially going to start being almost plus 300 or near there. But he's just one that can't be backed at all, especially here with Miller on the mound. Best bullpen versus the worst bullpen. I get that there could be runs. I mean, can the A's hit Miller here? That's if you want to go there. So the other one is, do you trust the Mariners? I mean, Waldicuck's given up what? At least 4, right? Just about every start. He had 1 decent start. His last 2, I guess, he given up 3 in 5 innings. But yeah, Mariners team total 5.5. I don't really love doing those Jimmy. It is plus money, but that'd be the only look here for me.
I think you're on the right track with the over. Do you feel like it's a possibility? Do you think that Miller could, that was a really important start going up against Elder in Atlanta. Do you think maybe this is a letdown spot for Miller?
Yeah,
going up against the
a
worst
little bit.
team
I
in
know
the
he's at
league?
home. Yeah, it just seems flat.
And
But he's been that dominant. But I'm sure he's due. Like, I thought he'd be pretty good, but I thought he would get hit in Atlanta. I was waiting for like that road start here coming up where he's kind of going to get hit around. But yeah, maybe it's kind of a little flat coming home here against the shitty A's team with Waldichuk. Maybe he gives up a few.
Yeah. Waldichuk has thrown here once at Safeco last year, and he looked really good.
He was pretty good, yeah. I pulled it up.
I really wonder if this is... if the over is the look here. But if Waldichuk pitches okay, the idea would be Bryce Miller just wouldn't be as good to go, and the bullpen's vulnerable. And I think this is I'm going to take one last look. I think I'm going to move, and then you'd have to go full game over because of how bad the Mariners bullpen is. So let me just look at this once more here. So then at least it's not a double up situation. It's gone from 8 to 8.5, and then cash wise here on the total, big bets have come in on the over, and it's if we believe that Bryce Miller can't be quite as spectacular as his numbers indicate, well, then this would be the spot against the worst team in the league where he might not quite be as low. I've talked myself into it. I am moving on the over in this game. Full game over for me. There's a couple spots that you have question marks on. Another thing about CMAC is he tweets out his additions, and they've been very strong. So I will retweet it, but keep an eye out for CMAC's additions here. All right, let's review all action. I have the Pirates full game, which doesn't look quite as bad right now. Justin McElvey stacks play today's Diamondbacks team total over 4.5 at plus 110. And they are threatening. Runners on second and third with none out. Take it home. Love to see you take it home. It's going to be 8.5, Big Show. Unfortunately, I don't have an 8 available. But I think this move to the over is... Let me see if I can get a bet online. Speaking of bet online, don't forget, we have a page on our website that has the sites that we've got deals with. And if you hit the link on our website, pubsportsradio.com, and go to Bet Online with our link and type in Pub Sports, they will match your buy-in up to $1,000, 100% up to $1,000. Here at Bet Online, the same deal, minus 115. Same deal. Diamondbacks up 1-0. Diamondbacks up 1-0. Justin McElvey, get that cash, man. Okay, so Melvin Betances has Zach Gallen to win the Cy Young here in the spot. And there's the link. Thank you, guys. If you're looking for a new account, because we've got the MyBookie account, we've got the Prize Picks, so we have all of that on our website. So CMAC had question marks around White Sox Cleveland, but that's gone off. That started. I'm on the under, first 5 under 4.5, and Mike M's on the Guardians going for 8 straight pimp slap plays of the day. Astros, Brewers, we stayed off. CMAC did move on the first 5 under 4 at minus 115 in San Francisco, Minnesota. That game is off and racing, and we'll see how that bangs out. Viper saying San Francisco threatening. Noli Nose is on Baltimore first 5, but CMAC's also on the Reds first 5 plus 140, and I doubled up. I like the breakdown. I took the Reds first 5 in full game. Jays, Rays, we stayed off. CMAC, I'm on the Orioles and the full game under in Orioles Yankees. You have question marks beside the Orioles first 5. Are you going to get to the window?
Give me a first 5.
All right. We have a move from our guy, CMAC, on the O's first 5. And also, Noli knows on the same look. And man, when they when Noli knows has been dropping first 5 sides in our show, they've been extremely successful. But I'm already on the full game. I wonder if that's a mistake. I wonder if, God, I do not want to double up on the side. I'm already going to be on the full game under, but okay, let's take a look at this best line we can give them on the first 5. The Baltimore Orioles. Wow, it's all over the map here. Some of these books. Bet Chris at plus 125. That's a pretty nice number. Let's see if we can beat that anywhere. Oh, bet.
I think that's the best.
Plus 125. Same with 5 times. Plus 125. So CMAC is locked in. Orioles first 5 at plus 125. And look at that, the payout. So the first leg is in the books for Razor at Delaware. $492.50 payout if the 5 wins on that $25 double. Great stuff, Razor, my man. So I'm going to move on the Orioles and the full game under, and maybe it's a mistake not taking them first 5. Padres, Nats, we stayed off. Ron Crawford spreadsheet play today is on the Braves minus 114. That was a lean for CMAC. Tigers, Royals, we stayed off. CMAC's on the Cubs minus 106, Cubs full game. Marlins, Rockies stayed off. And then we're all over the Red Sox. CMAC on them first 5. Jose on them first 5 full game minus 1. I'm going to be on them first 5 and full game. So I have some additions I'm pretty excited about. Then I'm going to add the over 8.5 in Oakland, Seattle. And that is our show for today. CMAC, you got a lot ahead of you this weekend. And there's our guy, Fat Cat Ninja, in the house. We got a lot ahead. I sure hope you're available for me on Sunday night because it'll be horse racing and baseball. But I know you have a bunch of action moving forward this weekend. You have Friday, Say Hey Plays of the Day.
Yep.
And love it if you could join me on Sunday. Again, your record, very impressive to start the year, and you can catch CMAC here every second Wednesday. He's splitting it up with the Big Ragu every second Wednesday here. And in NHL, I'm very... And look, this... Fading the Panthers is not a spot that has brought any success to anybody. But look, man, this is as confident as I've been on the Hurricanes. Like I love everything that Brendan Moore's saying. I love the way the Hurricanes are coming at this, and I expect them to go in there and win Game 4. That's what I do. I expect them to go in there and win Game 4 and leave it all on the ice. So I'm on the Hurricanes first period and full game, and I can't wait. I can't wait for all of this. Yeah, I'm pumped up.
You still think we get under hockey tonight?
I just probably, but I'm not betting it tonight. At some point, are the Hurricanes going to get a bounce or two? And if they do, then will the Panthers open it up?
Yeah.
Like if I'm right with the Hurricanes first period, wouldn't you expect the Panthers to finally open it up a little bit? So I can understand going back to the well because we're dealing with profit on that look, but I'm keeping it simple here, as simple as possible. I don't
know if real quick, I don't know if they want to because it's just been winning for them. Unders have been cashing all playoffs for the Panthers.
Well, they've been scoring the first goal in all these games.
True.
So, but you're right.
And great in OT,
No, I certainly wouldn't bet the over, but I did take a long look at Hurricanes team total over. And I actually took a long look at the Panthers team total under. But I thought I just want to keep it clean. I'm on the Hurricanes first period and full game. And speaking of which, C-Mac, do you have a lean for Vegas, Dallas tomorrow night?
No.
I'm going to be on Dallas, I think. I just want to watch some interviews. Because if you watch interviews on the Hurricanes, you want to bet them. I just love every single thing that they're all saying. I love it. Nuclear says, C-Mac, I'm hitting Vegas on Belmont weekend. Let's meet up for a pint. Yes. Meet up for a pint.
I'm in.
DC Capper and I going heads up on Seattle, Oakland. I do not like seeing that. That is our show for today. We have a big, big day ahead of us. So Don't forget, Balking Dead, 3:10 p.m. Eastern. Jose, who is your guest tonight in Say Hey Plays of the Day?
Dabby Cab and I are back again.
Dabby Cab back in action. And then I'm going to lock everything down for Sunday. And we have some exciting stuff coming up here at Pub Sports Radio that we will be telling you guys all about. But that is our show. Please follow Conor Mac on Twitter at Conor Mac Picks and Jose as well at Jose Bouquet. But now let's go get that cash. We got afternoon baseball up and at 'em, and a lot of excitement. The Brewers have opened up with a double. The Giants did not score in that first inning, and we're on to the second inning of our under in White Sox Cleveland. We're through 3 in Pittsburgh. We have nothing without you guys. Happy birthday, Mike M, my man. Happy birthday to you.
Shout out to Mike M.
What a great guy and great friend of the show. Real Deal Prime, New Quirker, DC Capper, North Ender, BJ, Grit and Grind, Fat Cat Ninja, Razor, Sharp Picks, UPK, Ayash, Yala, BJ, Noli, Vipe, Robert Franklin, Benjamin Mills, Danielson, Vitalis, Joe Yurkovich, Max Swelly, Cash, Bill, Rican, Christopher Comentini, Rance, Paul Trippy, Johnny K. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Alfred 44, Billy Friedrich, Benjamin Mills, Nunya, Spenny Penny Bombs, all of you. Tell me you didn't just say that. Thank you guys for your support. Truly, we have nothing without you. Rocco Rogers, all of you guys, thank you. And now let's go get that cash. Robert Greer, Saturated, Real Deal. Thank you guys. Let's fucking go. Let's go. Leche. Hey, Los Bookmakers.